Hello, everybody. Good evening and welcome to another edition of Klamath Falls Falcons baseball on 104.3 960 Sports and MyBasin.com. We're coming to you back live from Kiger Stadium tonight as the Falcons return home for Youth Baseball Night. My name is Josh Eldridge. Walter Hartley along with me this evening as we get ready for a single 9-inning contest against the Grants Pass Cavemen. The Falcons come into play with a 26-3 overall record. The Cavemen are 13-6. The Falcons winners of each of their last 9 contests, including a 4-game sweep over the Rogue Valley on Thursday and Saturday. Wins over South Medford 17-1 and 12-2, and then against North Medford back on Saturday 15-1 and 10-1. The Falcons are rolling, they are swinging the bat well, and they're looking to take the third meeting between themselves and the Grants Pass Cavemen this year. These two teams previously met back on June 22nd, a 6-2 win for the Falcons at Grants Pass High School. The Falcons also opened the season against the Cavemen right here at Kiger Stadium, an 11-4 win for the Falcons back on June 10th. They're looking to make it a clean sweep of the Cavemen this year with a win in front of a home crowd and packed with little leaguers and youth baseball players from around Klamath County. We're going to step aside for a couple of minutes, and when we come back, we'll introduce you to today's starting lineups and get ready for first pitch from Kiger Stadium on 104.3 960 Sports and MyBasin.com.
When your care feels complicated, you need someone who won't back away. At Heartfelt, they are known for taking on the cases others won't. Complex, high-risk, and deeply personal situations that deserve real attention. They specialize in minimally invasive procedures, helping you heal faster and get back to your life, your family, your work. And they are here for the long term, not just one visit. No referrals needed, just care that truly shows up for you. Visit heartfeltobgyn.com or call 541-205-6890. Heartfelt OBGYN. Expert care when it matters most.
Come on in. Hey, I'm Jason with Elevate Physical Therapy, Fitness, and Performance, and just a little bit about us. So we started in March of 2020, opened right before COVID hit. It's been a wild ride. So one of the things I'm super passionate about is this idea of being guides or think about like a map and compass. If you think about our job as physical therapists is to take a person who's had an injury and help them kind of go from point A to point B. And everybody's journey is different. It's never a straight line. It's nice to have someone that's been there, that's walked that path before many times. And so we see it as our honor and privilege to be able to walk with patients through those little steps along the way of getting back to doing the things they love. So to get a hold of us at Elevate, you can call our number at 541-887-2030. Check out our website, elevateptfp.com. Or check us out on Instagram, shoot us a message.
The Klamath Basin is beautiful, from shimmering Klamath Lake to rich farmlands to the historic downtown. And with an average of over 300 days of sunshine every year, the Klamath Basin is a great place to be. We here at Basin Media Active have been supporting this community for many years, keeping it entertained and informed with friendly faces and familiar voices. You can stay up to date with the latest news, weather, stream live local sports, and check out our community calendar, all on our website, mybasin.com. And you can download our app for free in your app store right now. Basin Media Active, local community engaged.
Welcome back to beautiful and historic Kiger Stadium as we get ready for Falcons baseball on 104.3 960 Sports and MyBasin.com. The Falcons at home tonight for Youth Baseball Night, and we've got some 10U and 12U kids ready to join the Falcons out onto the field. But first, let's just introduce you to our starting lineups, and we'll begin with our visitors today, the Cavemen from Grants Pass. Leading off for them, their center fielder Ryan Sadivi. Catcher Nathan Bennett bats second, followed by Ryan Glenn, the first baseman, hitting third. Their pitcher, Cam Holland, is batting cleanup today. Eric Piscata, the second baseman, hits fifth. Batting sixth is Nevin Diotti, the left fielder. Easton Schmidt is the shortstop. He hits seventh. Cruz Carnes is at third base, batting eighth. And batting ninth for the Cavemen today is their designated hitter, Eli Dominguez. The Cavemen are coached by Kyle Garrison. He's assisted by Marcus Durbin and Zach Morgan. Let's turn it over and meet the starting lineups today for the Klamath Falls Falcons. Leading off for the Basin 9, Carson Sims, the starting shortstop today. Corbin Hamilton gets the nod in left field, batting second. Hitting third is Jacoby Takini. The catcher, Ian Meyer, bats cleanup at first base. Colin Takini, the third baseman, bats fifth. Hitting sixth is P.J. Safford, the designated hitter. Tristan Thomas is in right field, batting seventh. Hitting eighth is Ty Teeters, the second baseman. And batting ninth is Harley Hoblet in center field today for the Falcons. On the mound for the Falcons is Hayden Poor. Looks like we're about ready to see our 12U and 10U All-Stars take the field with the Klamath Falls Falcons. This is great stuff. And all these kids got in for free today. There's a handful of other youth baseball programs that are in attendance today as they take the field with the Klamath Falls Falcons. We're going to step aside here briefly for a couple of minutes, and when we come back, we should be just about ready for first pitch today ahead of Falcons baseball on 104.3, 960 Sports, and mybasin.com.
What are the best words you can hear tonight?
Order ready for Susan?
And if you hear those words at Abby's, you know it's going to be a legendary meal. Your pizza is loaded with toppings to the edge, premium ingredients, and real cheese. Yeah, baby. Gather with friends, play some video games, and watch the big game on TV. That's made Abby's a legendary pizza tradition for generations. And when you're ready to hear those magic words,
Tom, your order's ready.
you know where to go. You're always welcome at Abby's.
There's something special about this place. It's more than the quiet mornings and the open skies. It's more than the scenery. It's the people. Around here, people still wave when you pass by. They check in when something's wrong. They show up when it matters. At Sage Credit Union, we're proud to live and work in a region that believes in each other. A place where neighbors lend a hand, small businesses thrive, and generosity runs deep. We believe that being part of a community means giving back to it, not just with dollars, but with time, effort, and heart. That's why our employees earn paid volunteer time. That's why you'll see us at food drives, fundraisers, and the local fair. We show up for our community. This isn't just where we work. This is where we live, where we give, and where we grow. Right here, in the coffee shop, at the fundraiser, and in our local branch. At Sage Credit Union, we've found our people. We'll see you around town.
At Pacific Power, we can't predict the future, but we're preparing for every possibility. With more extreme weather year-round, we're investing in an energy system ready for what comes next. By strengthening the grid, using smart infrastructure, and drawing from our diverse energy resources, we're not just powering today. We're designing an energy system that's built to weather tomorrow. Energy that makes powering your greatness possible.
Josh Eldridge and Walter Hartley welcoming you back to Kiger Stadium as we had a great group of kids out on the field. Our local Klamath Basin All-Stars 10U and 12U as they get bombarded with high fives on their way off the field. It is youth baseball night tonight at Kiger Stadium, one of my favorite nights of the year as we get ready to face the Grants Pass Cavemen here at Kiger Stadium. The Cavemen enter play today with a 13-6 overall mark on the season. Since we last saw the Cavemen back on June 22nd, they've only lost 3 times. They picked up wins against a team from Clackamas. They split against Central Point twice. I guess in a way they technically split once. once, 2 games out of 4 against Central Point. They paid a pair back on Monday the 29th, lost 2-7, but won 7-4. They then rematched back on Tuesday the 7th of July, a 9-3 win for Grants Pass and an 11-2 loss. They also mixed in some games against the Midcoast Dungeys, against the Wasilla Road Warriors, who the Falcons were familiar with from a season ago. That was a 5-2 win for Grants Pass. And the Doc Stewarts of Roseburg, a 5-4 win for the Cavemen. So a formidable opponent today for the Falcons, who've played them tough both times. Walter, we kind of talked about that game back on June 22nd, the 6-2 win for the Falcons. But overall for the Cavemen, they've been one of the few teams to really give the Falcons a run for their money this season.
Yeah, I was mentioning that earlier before the game. I'm excited to watch this one because they're not in our league, and so it is exciting to see something competitive that overall won't hurt them on the season, competing for state, districts and then state and all of that.
Hayden Poor getting the start on the mound today for the Falcons, much like the first time these two teams met back on June 10th. That was Poor's, of course, first start of the season. He went 3 innings, gave up 2 hits and 3 runs. His one blemish was a 3-run homer in the top of the first inning. Otherwise, Poor was effective in that game. Not quite effective enough to get the win. That was Colby Medeiros. We'll see if we see him later on today. But in the game at Grants Pass on the 22nd, another good outing on the mound from guys you might not have expected it from when the season started. Trustin Thomas and Max Rogers combined for the complete game 2-hitter and struck out 6 batters between the pair of them. Wouldn't be shocked if we saw either of those guys get a nod today against Grants Pass again either, as we are just about ready for the first pitch today. Hayden Poor out there on the bump. Jacoby Takini, the other half of the battery. The Falcons today in their home white uniforms. Grants Pass today in their gray pants, blue tops, and blue caps.
Hayden Poor, a 2.33 ERA pitcher over 21 innings pitched this season. He's been pretty good this season.
Yeah, no doubt about it. He's been effective when the Falcons have needed him to. Like we said, that only one real mistake he made against Grants Pass in that first time these two teams met was an elevated fastball that left the yard. Otherwise, he's been effective not only in that game, but throughout the entire season. Right now, he gets ahead of Ryan Sedivi, the leadoff hitter, a ball and a strike. It's Sedivi, Bennett, and then Glenn to lead off the ball game for Grants Pass as that pitch misses upstairs. The count is 2-1. Last time these two teams met back on the 22nd, Sedivi was batting 9th in the order. He was 1 for 3 and had a run scored in that contest. It was only 2 hits for Grants Pass that got them a couple of runs. The Falcons did commit 2 errors that led to one of those runs being unearned. The 2-2 pitch home to Sedivi misses upstairs, and the count is full to the leadoff hitter in the Caveman order. As we get started here today, just about on time, a couple of minutes past 6 o'clock, our scheduled start time. It is 86 degrees here in Klamath Falls as this one is popped up right side of the infield. Meyer, the first baseman, runs about 50 feet down the line to make the catch, but one gone here in the first inning. Let's go ahead and introduce you now to the defense for the Klamath Falls Falcons. Colin Takini's at third base, Carson Sims at short. Ty Teeters is at second base with Ian Meyer at first. Corbin Hamilton patrols left field. Harley Hoblet plays center, and Trustin Thomas is in right for the Falcons. Nathan Bennett getting ready to dig in now. He's had some success against the Falcons this season. We talked about that homer that Poor gave up in the first game of the season. It was off the bat of Nathan Bennett.
Really active dugout so far early this game for the Cavemen. They're rooting on their batters.
Pass it ahead here, 1-0. Here's the pitch. That one is hit well to right center field. Thomas and Hoblet both moving towards the gap. It's Thomas who takes command, makes the catch, and there's 2 outs in the first inning. Brings up Ryan Glenn for the Cavemen. Glenn, class of 28 for Grants Pass High School. This entire team comprised of Grants Pass High School attendance. There's only a couple of kids who have recently graduated. You just saw one of them, Nathan Bassett. Glenn, of course, like I said, class of 27. He'll be a senior next year. He takes a pitch upstairs. Poor falls behind 1-0. Glenn, last time these two teams met, was 0 for 3, although he did reach base once on a walk. 1-0 pitch on the way from Poor. Off speed, misses up and away. 2-0 the count to Ryan Glenn. Cam Holland, the starting pitcher, is due up next for Grants Pass. Poor from the windup. The 2-0 home is lined the opposite way and will get down in left field. And we'll see if Glenn tries to extend it into extra bases, and he might have had he not stumbled on the turn around first. And so a 2-out single will keep Glenn on first, and it brings up Cam Holland. Holland, the game's starting pitcher today for Grants Pass. We'll talk a little bit more about that when he takes the hill in the next half inning, but he will have been the starter in all 3 games that the Cavemen had played against the Falcons this season. And now an opportunity to help himself out with a 2-out base hit off of Ryan Glenn. First pitch to Holland finds the zone outside part of the plate, and the count is 0-1. After Holland in the order, it's Eric Piscata for the Cavemen. Top of the first inning, still only just getting started today at Kiger. Here's the 0-1. That one misses up and in. 1-1. The count to Holland. Last time these two teams played, Holland was 1 for 3 and also reached base on a walk. Here's the 1-1 from Hayden Poor. That one misses low and away and gets away from Takini, enough for Glenn to advance into scoring position. And so now with 2 outs, a runner stands at second. And the count is 2 balls and a strike to Holland. Holland, class of 27 as well for Grants Pass High School. Digs into the right-handed batter's box. Stands tall, stays wide, and as he awaits the pitch from Hayden Poor. Here it comes. That one swung on and missed. I think that was the elevated fastball from Poor. Got Holland to swing underneath it, and now there's 2 strikes on the Cavemen pitcher.
Is it just me, or has Harley shifted over to the left a little bit in center?
Shifted a little bit for sure.
Seems like there's a bit of a gap between right field and center field.
Pitch is called a strike into Holland. Poor gets the strikeout looking, leaving a runner stranded into scoring position. And we go to the bottom half of the first next. Still scoreless from Kiger on mybasin.com.
The Klamath Basin is beautiful, from shimmering Klamath Lake to rich farmlands to the historic downtown. And with an average of over 300 days of sunshine every year, the Klamath Basin is a great place to be. We here at Basin Media Active have been supporting this community for many years, keeping it entertained and informed with friendly faces and familiar voices. You can stay up to date with the latest news, weather, stream live local sports, and check out our community calendar, all on our website, mybasin.com. And you can download our app for free in your app store right now. Basin Media Active, local community engaged.
Set now for the bottom half of inning number 1, still scoreless between the Falcons and the Cavemen as Carson Sims gets set to dig in against Cam Holland, the right-hander here for Grants Pass. First pitch on the way, Sims hits it foul the opposite way. Count is 0-1 to Carson. It'll be Sims, Hamilton, and Takini to lead off the bottom of the first inning against Holland. Nathan Bassett, the starting catcher for the Cavemen, and we'll introduce you to the rest of the defense here in just a moment as the 0-1 pitch misses inside to Sims, and he's now even in the count. Last time these two teams played, Sims was 0 for 3 in the contest. 1-1, hit in the air, center field, should settle down for a base hit, and Sims is aboard to lead off this first inning.
Not a bad way to start for the Falcons.
See what they can do now with the leadoff base runner. Sims certainly has speed. And now in steps Corbin Hamilton. You know, we've been taking a look at the numbers for Corbin so far this season. And a guy who for most of the year was kind of hitting in the middle of the order, they've seen him jump up to the 2 spot. That's because he just gets on base, Walter. He gets on base at a pretty surprising clip when we looked at the numbers.
Yeah, 581. It's the highest on the team. However, he does have the most strikeouts as well on the team with 21. The next closest is Tristan Thomas with 15.
Yeah, it's supplemented by the fact that he just walks a lot.
He walks a lot.
He gets deep into at-bats. Sometimes it burns him with a strikeout, but he also gets free passes as well.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. He has 24 walks and 21 strikeouts.
Here's the 1-0 on the way to Hamilton. Holland delivers. Hamilton blasts one to center field, but pretty much right to Sedivi, and he tucks that one away for the first out. And so in steps Jacoby Tacchini for the Falcons, the game's starting catcher, of course. Tacchini batting .429 this season for the Falcons.
It looks like it jumped to .433 since the last couple of games.
So he's off to a great start this year, continuing to battle for the Falcons. First pitch going to have to wait a minute. They check over on Sims. Ian Meyer is due up next for Klamath Falls. Pitch misses upstairs. To Tacchini, the count now 2-0. Jacoby, along with being near the top in the team hitting, ranking third coming into play, also ranks tops in doubles, has got 14 of those and 43 RBIs this season.
He's also second for most games played. He's played 29 out of the 29 games they've played this season.
Rips one down the third base line. That is fair down the line. Sims turns around second, headed for third. The throw is not in time. Sims dives in safely, going first to third. That is one of the most underrated things you can do as a ball player. Sims does it well, slides in safely, and in the meantime, Tacchini advances to second. Two men in scoring position now for Ian Meyer. Not going to be in any stat book that we have, but the ability to go first to third on a base hit like that scores runs, and that was a great bit of aggressiveness from Carson.
Shows speed and a little bit of base running IQ. Know when to do it.
Cavemen infield playing a touch in, trying to protect against a run, but Meyer sends a liner to center field. That's going to go score Sims, no problem. They wave in Tacchini. The ball is mishandled in center field, and the throw in is overshot the cutoff man. Meyer's able to get to second base on that play, and the Falcons lead 2-0 in the bottom of the first inning.
That was kind of a risky move from Meyer. I think the throw might have had him at second, but two men score.
So Meyer now in at second after advancing on the throw. Give him a 2 RBI single, and Colin Tacchini steps in now as the Falcons lead. Tacchini fouls off the first pitch, and the count is 0-1. After Tacchini in the order, it is P.J. Safford. Colin didn't get a chance to take a look at Holland last time these two teams met, as he sends a grounder out towards short. Schmidt is up with it, sets his feet, strong throw is in time, and there's 2 outs in the inning. However, Meyer does advance to third on the ground out, now 90 feet away from scoring for P.J. Safford. Safford, the designated hitter today, of course, hitting in the pitcher's spot for Hayden Poor. Safford was 0 for 3 last time these two teams met, but did wind up driving in a run on a sacrifice as he takes a strike there, counts 0-1. Last time the Falcons played, Safford winded up with his first triple of the season, and a 3 RBI triple at that. It was his first extra base hit of the campaign. The 0-1 misses outside, count is even, a ball and a strike to PJ, and again, Ian Meyer stands at third for the Falcons. They've already got 2 runs home here in the bottom of the first inning.
Safford batting .359 through 64 at-bats. Not too shabby.
Not at all. I mean, this whole Falcons group as a team hitting .375. They get on base 48% of the time. And so up and down this lineup, I mean, there's danger. It never gets easy to face this Falcons group. The 2-1 pitch on the way to PJ is going to miss upstairs, and Safford works ahead 3-1. After PJ in the Falcons order, it is Trustin Thomas. Out of the windup, here comes Holland. Safford takes one, must have missed low, looked over the plate, but I think that was below his knees. Safford able to work a walk there. Runners at the corners now for Thomas.
Let's see, that'll be PJ's 11th walk on the season. Doesn't get walked a lot. I think he makes a lot of contact.
Yeah, it sees the on-base percentage boost up a little bit, 423. Going to see that climb up there as they check on him over at first, but he's back safely. Trustin Thomas getting ready to dig in now for Klamath Falls. He does round out the team in average, but when your statistically quote-unquote worst hitter is batting .258, that's still a pretty good mark for Trustin Thomas as he takes a strike, falls behind 0-1. Thomas, though, despite him maybe not being towards the top in average, certainly comes up when the team asks him to. 21 RBIs this season. He's got 6 doubles, a couple of triples, and might not be hitting for average, but certainly helping this team win a bundle of ball games this year. After Thomas in the order, it's Ty Teeters for the Falcons. Thomas stationed at the back of the box, keeps the bat high above his head in the 0-1 count. The pitch is called a strike. Safford takes off for second. The throw winds up in center field. Meyer's going to score with ease, and Safford, who never slid, winds up all the way at third on the error. So Safford advancing on to third on the error. Meyer scoring on the error. And Thomas now with the runner at third. Still 2 outs. Count is, I believe, a ball and 2 strikes. Pardon me, 0-2 the count to Thomas. And the delivery is fouled back.
Although
Thomas sticks around, sorry.
Although Thomas doesn't have the highest hitting percentage, he does have a pretty high slugging percentage, and that's because when he does make contact, the ball is going out.
And he sends one to center field here, down in front of Sedivi, and Thomas with another piece of clutch hitting, another RBI single for Trustin, RBI 22 on the year, and he knocks in Safford, making it 4-0 Falcons in the first. And so Ty Teeters, a chance to step in now for the Falcons. Teeters the 8th man to bat this inning. There are 2 outs, and Thomas aboard at first. Holland set back, working out of the stretch with the runner on.
Teeters batting. Sorry.
Here's one who's hit to right center field. That one could get down in the gap, might even be extra bases. And it gets beyond the right fielder and rolls for just a bit longer. Thomas looking to score all the way from first. The throw in is not going to be there. The tag misapplied by the catcher. And all the way from first, Thomas scores another. And a double for Ty Teeters. That's the Falcons a run. It is 5-0. Klamath Falls in the first.
Yeah, we talk about that feeling out period, but you also said that this guy, he started against us all 3 games that we've played them.
Exactly.
So the feeling out period is over.
And he's pitched well against the Falcons in the first 2 meetings. But, yeah, you see a guy for a 3rd time in a year. There doesn't need to be any feeling out process as Hoblet sends a grounder to short on the first pitch. He sees Schmidt is up with it cleanly. Throw on to first, but the Falcons in business. After 1 inning of play, they lead by 5. We go to the second next on mybasin.com.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
Rob, why do you think so many families choose Subaru here?
Because they're built for real life here in Southern Oregon.
All-wheel drive, safety, and room for everything from kids to camping gear.
And we've got Subarus in stock, ready to go when you are.
Plus, we're locally owned and deeply involved in the community.
When you buy from us, you buy from a dealership that supports Klamath Falls. Stop by and say hi.
Friendly, local, and easy to work with. That's us at Klamath Falls Subaru, right on Washburn Way.
Top of the second inning, the Klamath Falls Falcons lead the Grants Pass Cavemen, a score of 5-0. Hayden Poor continuing to work out there for Klamath Falls as he looks to go through Eric Pesqueda, Nevin Diatti, and Easton Schmidt. There's a 2-out base runner for the Cavemen in the first, but Poor was able to strand him in scoring position, and then the Falcons helped him out quite a bit by plating 5 on 5 hits in the bottom of the first inning. Pesqueda digging in now against Hayden Poor. First pitch from Poor is going to miss wide. Count is 1-0. Pesqueda, one of 2 players on this Grants Pass team who are recent graduates, class of 26. Here's the delivery from Hayden Poor. The 1-0 is grounded right back to Poor. It ricochets off his leg, but he's able to recover in time to make the play at first. Meyer needed to help him out a little bit, but a nice play by the first baseman as well. It'll go in as a simple 1-3, even if it didn't look that easy, but a first out recorded here in the second inning.
Someone get Meyer on the football field. He could be a great tight end.
Yeah, that was had to kind of dive across the baseline there to make that play, but a nice job there by Ian. He's become quite comfortable defensively there opposite the hot corner, and it brings up Nevin Diotti with one out. Here's the pitch. That one is called a strike right over the heart of the plate, about thigh high to the starting left fielder for the Cavemen. Diotti falls behind 0-1. He was 0 for 2 and struck out last time these two teams played on the 22nd of June. Diotti chases the outside soft stuff and is behind 0-2. After Diotti in the order, it is Easton Schmidt for the Cavemen. Poor out of the windup. Takes a deep breath before delivering the two-strike offering to Diotti, and he gets a swing and a miss on the high heat. Two outs, in the second inning. And it brings up Easton Schmidt. Had a couple of defensive chances in the last half inning for Grants Pass. Schmidt, though, was 0 for 3 and struck out 2 times against Klamath Falls back on the 22nd. Again, there wasn't a lot of success offensively for Grants Pass, but their pitching staff kept Klamath Falls relatively quiet. All things considered, hold that thought. A screamer to first. Meyer tries to backhand it, but it ricochets off his glove and into right field. Easton Schmidt aboard here with 2 outs in the inning. 2-out single, and it brings up Cruz Carnes.
Yeah, that's scored as a hit. I don't know many fielders who would have been able to field that.
Yeah, that was hit hard. He got a piece of leather on it, but kind of had to get on his knee, and that's a tough one to field. No doubt about it. A base hit for Schmidt as Carnes gets ready to dig into the right-handed batter's box. Poor did allow a 2-out base hit in the first, although it didn't come back to bite him. We'll see if he can keep that same luck here in the second. First pitch to Carnes. First pitch taken for a strike. 0-1. Carnes was also hitless last time these two teams met, although he only got 1 at-bat. He came in late in the contest as a relief pitcher. Here he sends a line drive past Sims and into left field. It's mishandled for a moment by Hamilton and left, but it won't actually hurt the Falcons too bad, as back-to-back 2-out singles have a man in scoring position for the Cavemen for their number 9 hitter, Eli Dominguez. Wanted to finish that thought on Cruz Carnes, though. Came in as a relief pitcher last time these two teams met. 2 2/3 innings pitched, gave up a couple of hits, no runs, though, against Klamath Falls. As Dominguez gets ready to step in here. Dominguez was left out of the order last time these two teams met on June 22nd. Here's the offering from Hayden Poor. And it's first pitch taken low for a ball. Count is 1-0. Aboard at second is Schmidt. Aboard at first is Carnes. Number 9 hitter Dominguez ahead in the count, 1-0. Falcons lead 5-0. Top of the second inning. Poor takes a look at the runner at second. Not much of a lead out there. Delivers home and gets a swing and a miss from Dominguez. And that pitch was fouled back. Everyone was thinking that was in the dirt and away from Tacchini, but it was fouled off. There was no sense of urgency. Everyone was curious why. That's why. And the count's 1-1 at the plate to Dominguez. Now, he did not play either in the opener against Klamath Falls either back on June 10th. So first time that he is seeing the Falcons this season. Lineup turns over next with Ryan Sedivi. Count is 2-1 at the plate to Dominguez. Teeters, the second baseman, tried to hold the runner close. The pitch from Poor is fouled back, and there's now 2 strikes on the hitter. There was a couple of other games of interest going on earlier today in Area 4. North Medford losing twice to South Medford earlier today. We'll talk more about that in the next half inning as Dominguez swings and misses at a pitch in the dirt. He's thrown out at first on the dropped third strike, and that'll do it in the second inning. The Cavemen get a couple of men on, but they leave them both stranded, and they trail the Falcons by 5 as we go to the bottom half of the second next on MyBasin.com.
When your care feels complicated, you need someone who won't back away. At Heartfelt, they are known for taking on the cases others won't. Complex, high-risk, and deeply personal situations that deserve real attention. They specialize in minimally invasive procedures, helping you heal faster and get back to your life, your family, your work. And they are here for the long term, not just one visit. No referrals needed, just care that truly shows up for you. Visit heartfeltobgyn.com or call 541-205-6890. Heartfelt OBGYN. Expert care when it matters most.
At Pacific Power, we can't predict the future, but we're preparing for every possibility. With more extreme weather year-round, we're investing in an energy system ready for what comes next. By strengthening the grid, using smart infrastructure, and drawing from our diverse energy resources, we're not just powering today. We're designing an energy system that's built to weather tomorrow. Energy that makes powering your greatness possible.
5-0, the Falcons lead the Grants Pass Cavemen. It is going to be the top of the Falcons order in the bottom of the second inning. Sims, Hamilton, and Tacchini looking to get things rolling against Cam Holland, as they did get things rolling in the first. Again, a 5-run first inning puts the Falcons in a comfortable position here. We'll see if they're able to keep the rally alive or if it's going to be kind of business as usual for the Falcons, where they played quite a few in a couple of innings, or if they can keep this consistent attack throughout the ball game today, as Sims fouls back the first pitch 0-1. Sims singled and later scored in the first inning of this game. Behind of Holland. Holland gets the sign from Bassett, agreeable with the pitch, now delivers, and Sims takes a look at it for strike 2. Just about knee-high over the middle of the plate. Sims might have thought it was low, but now he's going to have to protect with 2 strikes on him. Wind not much of a factor today, slightly blowing out to center field, but not much to impact a fly ball all that much, as the 0-2 misses outside 1-2. Here at Kiger Stadium, 325 down either line, 385 to straightaway center field. I've only seen one ball leave the yard this year, and it was in the first game of the season against Grants Pass. The 1-2 to Sims. Off speed, Sims smashes it the opposite way. That is over the head of the right fielder and going to continue to roll. Sims digging for second. He is in standing. The throw in. It's a bit wild, but Sims going to be conservative. Just take second base, and a leadoff double for Carson. Falcons are in business here in the second.
Seems like it took him about 5 seconds from home plate to second base.
A lot of speed, and for Carson, 6 doubles now on the year. Thought that ball might roll a little bit further, maybe a bit wet out there in the outfield or just tall grass, but that one kind of died once it hit the deck. Sims might have had more had that rolled after hitting the grass, but he'll take a leadoff double all the same, as Corbin Hamilton looks ready to step in here, and he will take a ball. Count is 1-0, man. Talk about a good performance over both games of a doubleheader back on Saturday. Corbin Hamilton absolutely tore it up against North Medford back on Saturday. He was 6 for 6 with 7 RBIs across 2 games. Here's the pitch to Hamilton, taken for a strike, 1-1. Didn't have any extra base hits, but he came up when it mattered most for his team. 7 RBIs across 2 games. That is just impressive stuff.
And one of those at-bats was an intentional walk. So
1-1.
I guess I shouldn't say at-bats. I should say plate appearances.
There you go.
But yes, one of the at-bats was taken away from him because he was walked.
Well, he reached base every single time. He was walked once in each game, so reached base 4 for 4, actually wound up 3 for 3. Just a really great doubleheader. Here he sends a chopper to third, skips past Carnes, and into left field. Sims gets the green light to score. The throw to the cutoff man is going to wind up behind him. Hamilton, who went to second, now trying to go to third after the throwing error, and does. It's 6-0 Falcons, and Hamilton is at third with nobody out. Two errors on the same play hurting the Cavemen there. An error to allow Hamilton to reach, and then the throw in also being ruled an error. So no RBI for Corbin there. Sims scores all the same. Doesn't impact the score. 6-0. Falcons still lead. Jacoby Tacchini now bats with nobody out and a runner at third. The infield comes in for the Cavemen for the second time today. Takini so far in this ball game 1 for 1 with the run scored. Pitch to Jacoby, rolled up the middle and through for a base hit. Hamilton is going to score. Takini collects the RBI, 2 for 2 today. Courtesy runner coming in for Jacoby. Welcome to the ball game, Chase Barrett. And it brings up Ian Meyer. Already 2 runs home here in the second, 1 on first, nobody out.
Yeah, we have the 2 of the best batters on the team back to back. We have Jacoby Takini, who's batting .433, just got on base with that base hit. And then we also have Ian Meyer, who's averaging over 500 on the season.
Looks like we might see a pitching change, though, here for Grants Pass in the second inning as Holland jogs off, and it looks like Pesqueda might be taking over for the Caveman. We'll step aside for 60 seconds, give him some time to warm up as the Falcons lead the Cavemen here 7-0, bottom of the second inning on 104.3 960 Sports and MyBasin.com.
What are your goals? To get stronger, move better, feel healthier? Whatever you're aiming for, Harbor Isles is here to help you. They have brand new cardio and strength equipment. Harbor Isles offers indoor tennis courts, 4 indoor pickleball courts, energizing group classes, expert personal trainers, and a friendly, knowledgeable staff ready to guide you every step of the way. No matter what your goals are, Harbor Isles has everything you need to reach those goals. Stop by and see the difference for yourself. Harbor Isles, lose those reins and get your gains.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck, yes. That'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Oregon, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
New pitcher on the mound for Grants Pass tonight as they trail Klamath Falls 7-0 in the bottom of the second inning. Eric Pesqueda, the new arm on the hill for Grants Pass. Last time these two teams played, Pesqueda did get a chance to pitch just 1 inning against Klamath Falls. Gave up 2 hits, 2 earned runs, and a strikeout. We've got some other defensive changes for Grants Pass. Cam Holland stays in the game. He goes to second base. And now over at third is Ryan Stewart. And so there's your changes there for Grants Pass. Ian Meyer bats with a runner on first and nobody out in the inning. Meyer takes a pitch upstairs. Count is 1-0. The runner on first is Chase Barrett. He's there in as a courtesy for Jacoby Takini, who knocked in an RBI single earlier this frame. Falcons have plated 2. It was the leadoff double for Sims. Hamilton reached on an error, helped drive in a run, and moved to first. Bassett nearly back-picking Barrett at first. He's got a good arm back there, a veteran catcher for Grants Pass. They feel similarly about him that the Falcons do about Jacoby Takini, where he kind of takes some of that pressure off the pitchers to keep the runners close around the bases. The 2-0 pitch to Meyer misses upstairs, 3-0 the count. And after Meyer, it's Colin Takini in the Falcons order.
Ian Meyer batting .488 with runners on.
The 3-0 misses up, a 4-pitch walk to Meyer, 2 men on, nobody out. Here's Colin Takini. No movement in Grants Pass's bullpen. Thought with them taking their third baseman out of the game a moment ago that they might get Carnes up and moving. He's been known to throw in the past for him, but not yet, as Pesqueda, after a 4-pitch walk, now deals with 2 men on and still nobody out for Colin Takini. He's 0 for 1 today. He did ground out in the first inning. Takes a first pitch strike on the inside part and falls behind here 0-1. The shortstop Schmidt trying to keep Barrett close at second. A fairly conservative lead off of second for Chase. But a good secondary lead as the pitch delivered home results in a swing and a miss from Colin. And he falls behind here 0-2. After Colin in the Falcons order, it's P.J. Safford.
Colin has the 3rd highest slugging percentage on the team with .561. With a man in scoring position, that could be an RBI opportunity for him.
11 extra base hits this year for Colin as he takes a pitch upstairs, 1-2. 9 doubles for him this season, ranks second most on the team. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Colin, and he'll wear it, load the bases. Brings up P.J. Safford with him juiced and nobody out. Meyer to second, Barrett to third, Colin aboard at first. Here's P.J. He is without an official at-bat today. He walked in the first and came around to score in that inning. But a golden opportunity here to open up a ball game, which is already opened up pretty wide here in the second inning. A 7-0 lead for the Falcons. But a ball in the gap here. You could see that lead grow to double digits on just one swing of the bat. Takini at first might not be the quickest guy on the ball club. Might have been dealing with a hamstring injury a little bit earlier on in the season. But if you send one in the gap, I don't think they'll be afraid about sending him. The 1-0 pitch home misses upstairs. 2-0 the count to PJ.
P.J. Safford actually hits better with runners in scoring position at 361.
Hoping he can find a way to punch one through here. Counts 2-0 to Safford. He can be selective. He'll take a pitch over the heart of the plate. Count is 2-1. After Safford in the order is Trustin Thomas. I'd like to have him have a chance with a couple of runners on as well. But Safford going to try to push a few across here. The 2-1. Here it comes. Safford swings and misses at the fastball. Count is 2 balls and 2 strikes to Safford.
Not a big gap in the middle of the outfield. If he could hit opposite, there is a little bit of a gap between the first base foul line and the right fielder.
Was able to find the opposite way yesterday for an extra base hit. The 2-2 is fouled off the opposite way.
There's a start.
A little bit late on that fastball. He can try to straighten that out a little bit, try to find some green out there. The right fielder, Snodgrass, playing mostly behind the second baseman. There is a lot of real estate down the line, but they play him deep to hopefully limit those extra bases. That's kind of been the scouting report on the Falcons here at home this year. The 2-2 to Safford. Bases loaded, nobody out. The pitch is looked at for strike 3 off the plate, but Safford sent down looking, and it brings up Trustin Thomas. Thomas 1 for 1 today, an RBI single in the first inning, and he also scored a run in the first, but like we kind of talked about in his first at-bat, he's a guy who likes to hit in these kinds of spots this season. Bases loaded, 1 out. Falcons lead by 7. Here's the pitch to Trustin. It's going to miss low, 1-0. Thomas, 8 extra base hits this season, 6 doubles, 2 triples. Here's the 1-0. Misses upstairs, 2-0 to Trustin. On deck for the Falcons is Ty Teeters. Barrett at third, again Meyer at second, Colin at first. Corners in for the Cavemen. The middle infield ready to try to turn a double play and get themselves out of this jam. The 2-0 called a strike, belt high on the outside part. Similar pitch that rung up Safford. Falcons going to have to protect that outside part of the plate today. The 2-1. Here it comes. That one, similar location, maybe a bit elevated in the zone, but it evens the count at 2 to Thomas. Going to have to protect here with 2 strikes on him. Guy who typically carries the bat above his head is going to try to shorten the stroke here. Wide in the box. The 2-2 misses upstairs. The count is full. Bases loaded, 1 out, and a 3-2 count. Don't think we'll see any of the runners get a head start with only 1 out in the inning, although wouldn't be shocked if it did happen. Here's the 3-2, and strike looking. That one looked to be in the zone against Thomas. Get the bases loaded, and back-to-back guys look at strike 3. Ty Teeter's going to try to punch one out there, find something to push across for the Falcons. Teeters 1 for 1 tonight. Doubled in a run in the second inning. Here's the first pitch. That's looked at for a strike over the heart of the plate. Falcons got the bases loaded after a single from Takini, a base on balls, and a walk. Or pardon me, and a hit by pitch. And so they were pretty much gifted this scenario. Trying to capitalize on it here has been the problem. Teeters, 1-1 count.
Big gap in kind of left center field.
Teeters hits it the opposite way, well fouled towards some little leaguers having some fun in the bullpen.
Oh.
Look out.
Startled him a little bit. It's raining.
Yeah, that hit the tin roof of the maintenance shed that's like right behind the dugout. That spooked someone over there. Counts 1-2 to Ty Teeters. Pesqueda trying to work out of a bases-loaded jam here in the second. Here's the pitch. Misses upstairs. Good job by Bassett to get out of his stance and corral that one, not allowing it to get to the backstop. And count is 2-2 to Ty Teeters. Harley Hoblet is due up next for the Falcons. Pesqueda set again, looking for that put-away pitch. Here he comes with the 2-2, lined up the middle and through for a base hit. One run is going to score. Meyer is waved in as well. And a 2 RBI single for Ty Teeters extends the Falcons' lead. That's the hit they've been looking for. It's 9-0 Falcons. By the way, Colin Tacchini pulls up at second. He stays there as Meyer and Barrett both score on that play. Falcons have added 4 more runs here in the second, and Hoblet bats 9th for the second consecutive inning. Although he did ground out to end the first, in another RBI opportunity, here is Hoblet. Pesqueda comes set, takes a look at Colin with a fairly large lead at second base. Hoblet fouls that one off. Count is 0-1. On deck, top of the order, Carson Sims for the Falcons. Hoblet this season is batting .333. Most of his hits have been singles, and he does have 13 RBIs. The 0-1 is called a strike. Looked to be a slider of sorts from Pesqueda. Started over the plate and slid away from the right-hander. And Hoblet's got 2 strikes on him. Holland, the second baseman, trying to keep Tacchini close to the bag. Pesqueda clocks the lead, now delivers home. The 0-2 misses in the dirt. Bassett knocks it down, so no one's moving, but Hoblet gets a chance to see another pitch here. Set again is Pesqueda. And the pitch home is swung on and missed, but it bounces out of Bassett's glove at first. Hoblet is going to get first on the dropped third strike. And that will reload the bases for Carson Sims.
Never give up on the play.
Yeah, Hoblet I didn't think that had popped out of the glove, but Hoblet looked behind him and took off, and yeah, he's in there safely. So Teeters to second, Tacchini to third. And after the passed ball allows Hoblet to reach, Sims gets a second crack at things here in the second inning. Sims today 2 for 2 and 2 runs scored. He singled in the first and doubled earlier this inning. Now bats with the bases loaded and 2 outs. The pitch from Pesqueda misses upstairs to Carson, 1-0. Sims still on the search for his first RBI today. He's led off both times. But again, coming in to score those runs, a statistic which he leads the team in. He's now scored 41 runs this season for the Falcons. Count is 2-0 to Carson. Modest leads all around for the Falcons, not getting overly aggressive with a 9-run lead. Here's the 2-0 home. Sims hits it the opposite way, but foul. It counts 2 balls and a strike. Due up next for Klamath Falls is Corbin Hamilton. Coach Teeters offering some encouragement down the third base side. He's assisted today by Drew Rabel at first base, Craig Connor, Pete Whistler in the dugout, Caleb Keelan. The 2-1 to Carson Sims, misses low and away in the dirt. Count is 3-1 to Carson. Again, bases loaded, nowhere to put him. Sims, if he's going to get a pitch to hit, it's going to be right here. Big lead off of first for Hoblet with the first baseman nowhere near him. Pesqueda delivers the 3-1, and Sims rips it down the line, but it bends just foul. And he'll do it again, trying to straighten that one out a touch. Count still 3-2 to Sims. All right, pitcher's got the ball back. Bassett delivers the signal to him. Sets up the target. Sims protective in a 2-strike stance. The offering is going to be in the dirt. Gets away from the catcher. Tacchini, who is on the move with a full count and 2 outs, can jog the rest of the way home. as the Falcons lead by 10. Ty Teeters advances to third. Hoblet to second. Sims aboard after the walk for the third time today. Brings up Corbin Hamilton, who's 0 for 2, but he does have a run scored in the contest. He flew out in the first, but reached on an error earlier this inning and scored a run.
You know, I was watching highlights earlier today of submarine pitchers.
Okay.
You got to think that they start from a young age.
Fouled back. Count is 0-1. I've always thought that they kind of, teach that out of you. I know that was the case when I was in Little League. Count is 0-1 here to Hamilton.
Well, it seems like there's a disproportionate amount of players in the big leagues that pitch submarine, compared to the total amount of submarine pitchers that there are in all levels. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So I wonder why it's not encouraged more.
Well, it's interesting. I mean, it's tougher on your arm for sure. The 1-1 is fouled back. Counts 1-2. Hamilton now with 2 strikes on him, trying to find a way to put a ball in play here with the bases loaded. At third is Teeters. At second is Hoblet. And at first is Sims. Hamilton, who's relaxed there on the right side, keeps his stance closed with 2 strikes on him. Doesn't make too much of a different adjustment, but maybe it works out for him as he sends one hit hard to center field. Sidivi over in the gap, makes the catch though, and that will end the inning. The Falcons do add 5 runs in this inning, and they lead 10-0 as we go to the top of the third next on mybasin.com.
There's something special about this place. It's more than the quiet mornings and the open skies. It's more than the scenery. It's the people. Around here, people still wave when you pass by. They check in when something's wrong. They show up when it matters. At Sage Credit Union, we're proud to live and work in a region that believes in each other. A place where neighbors lend a hand, small businesses thrive, and generosity runs deep. We believe that being part of a community means giving back to it, not just with dollars, but with time, effort, and heart. That's why our employees earn paid volunteer time. That's why you'll see us at food drives, fundraisers, and the local fair. We show up for our community. This isn't just where we work. This is where we live, where we give, and where we grow. Right here, in the coffee shop, at the fundraiser, and in our local branch. At Sage Credit Union, we've found our people. We'll see you around town.
Falcons lead 10-0 here in the top of the third inning. Hayden Poore working with a considerable lead as his team has added 5 runs in each of the first 2. And he'll go up against the top of the order for the Cavemen, Ryan Sidivi, Nathan Bassett, and Ryan Glenn. Poore gave up 3 hits the first time through the order, but didn't let anyone get past second base. A couple of key strikeouts to get himself out of the first and second innings have helped him keep a shutout intact so far today. And in steps Ryan Sidivi, 0 for 1. He popped out to first base in his first at-bat in the first inning. Delivery from Poore is going to miss upstairs, 1-0. Sidivi has started in center field each of the first 2 times these squads met each other. Sidivi was 1 for 3 back on the 22nd. Here he pops up a bunt, looks playable in front of the mound, and Jacoby Tacchini up and out of the stance makes the catch a couple of feet down the third base line. There is 1 out in the third, bringing up Nathan Bassett. Bassett flew out to right field in the first inning, 0 for 1 today. Bassett, class of 26 for Grants Pass High School. We touched on it. He's had a little bit of success against the Falcons, trying to spread the wealth to the rest of his ball club, see if they can't get something going against Hayden Poore here in the third inning. Poore will step off. And do we have a kid on the field? Tacchini was motioning to the left side. We got timeout. Oh, there's a wiffle ball or a green plastic something out there in left field. Oh, and Hamilton left it short on the throwback. Oh, man.
Oh, no.
Now everyone's looking. Did he do it again? Oh, no, he got that one over. And the crowd goes mild. All right. Looks like we're ready for baseball.
One of the strongest arms on the team there.
Short hop the fence. That pitch misses up and in. 1-0 the count to Bassett. And again, Ryan Glenn is due up next. Klamath Falls, like we've talked about, entering play today, 26-3 overall on the season, 14-0 in league play. And although Grants Pass does have a team in Area 4, it's not these Cavemen. It's the Grants Pass Nuggets. So today, a non-league game for the Falcons, although we are back to league play tomorrow on the road at Grants Pass, as that pitch misses up and in, 2-1. First pitch from the All Sports Park in a league doubleheader tomorrow, 5 o'clock. The Nuggets make a return trip to the Basin on Thursday, a league doubleheader here at Kiger Stadium at 5:30. Counts 3 balls and a strike here to Nathan Bassett.
Big gap in right center field there. That is some territory.
Poor out of the windup. Here's the offering. Misses upstairs and works a walk. First walk delivered today by Poor. Brings up Ryan Glenn with a runner on. Glenn singled in the first inning, was left stranded in scoring position in that inning. And bats here from the left side. See if he can't get something going here against Poor, working out of the stretch. Poor has been efficient out of the stretch today. Like I said, he got himself into a little bit of trouble in the first and second, but was able to work out of it with big strikeouts. And here, Takini, after receiving the first pitch from Poor, calls time. Going to chat things over with Hayden briefly out there ahead of the 1-0 pitch. Gives us a quick opportunity to remind you today's broadcast on mybasin.com is brought to you by Coldwell Banker, Holman Premier Realty. They know that little things can add up to big bills when you're buying, selling, or owning a home. That's why Coldwell Banker Holman Premier Realty's exclusive beyond the sale guarantees protect buyers, sellers, and homeowners from unexpected repair bills. Also want to give a shout out to some of the corporate sponsors for the Klamath Falls Falcons. Sponsors like Kinsman Construction, Henrich Roofing, as well as Fast Break, Quality Electric, the Eisler Group, Howard's Meat Center, all corporate sponsors of the Falcons, and this season would not be possible without a handful of those. And there's so many others that I didn't exactly mention, but try to give everybody love tonight here on Youth Baseball Night. 2-0 the count to Ryan Glenn. That pitch is going to miss low to Glenn. Count is 3-0 to the first baseman for the Cavemen. Cam Holland is on deck for Grants Pass. Delivery from Poor. That one finds the zone. Able to get one back across after 7 straight out of the zone. Of course, Bassett is aboard at first after a walk. Here's the 3-1. That one is lined to right field and settles down for a single. Bassett holds up at second, and 2 base runners with 1 out in the third brings up the cleanup hitter, Cam Holland. By the way, that base hit improves Glenn to 2 for 2 on the evening. Holland 0 for 1 in this one. He struck out in the first inning. Started the game as the pitcher for the Cavemen, now assumes the second base position. We can give you a final line score on Holland on the mound, and we'll do so here in just a moment. As the pitch from Poor is taken low, 1-0. Holland pitched 1 inning today, gave up 7 hits, 8 runs, 6 earned. He walked 1 and did not strike out anybody. Counts 1-0 to him right now. An RBI opportunity for the Cavemen in the top of the third of a 10-run ball game. Holland hits one high, foul territory towards the parking lot. And there's a strike on him. After Holland in the order is Eric Piscata. Small lead off of first for Glenn. Pretty modest off a second, too, for Bassett, although Teeter's trying to keep him close. The pitch is going to bounce. Takini up with it. The throw to third is not going to be in time. Good base running there for Grants Pass. Quick reactions from Bassett to advance on the wild pitch. Takini tried to knock it down, and he did, but just wasn't catchable. And so both men advance. Eliminates the possibility of a double play ball to get out of this inning. But Poor going to have to buckle down like he had in each of the first 2. Bassett to third, Glenn at second. 2-1, the count at the plate, and this one is fouled straight back. 2 strikes on the hitter Holland. Poor looking in. Gets the signal from Takini. Here's the 2-2. That one swung on and missed. Poor goes off speed and gets Holland to swing over the top of it. 2 strikeouts for Holland on the day. And now 1 out away from trying to keep this shutout intact, and Eric Pesqueda stepping in. Pesqueda grounded out back to the pitcher in his first opportunity today, 0 for 1. Pesqueda started the game at second and has now taken over pitching duties for Grants Pass. A chance to lighten the load a little bit here as his team trails by 10, but 2 men in scoring position with 2 outs in the third. Poor, a deep breath before delivering the pitch. It's hit in the air, center field. Hoblet moving over towards the gap, but that one gets down in the gap. Going to be extra bases for Pesqueda. He's trying to extend it to second, and he slides in safely. Nearly got him trying to stretch that into a double. I thought he'd gotten in there quite a bit easier, but he's there, and there is 2 runs home on that double, a 10-2 ball game. The Falcons still lead Grants Pass here in the third. Nevin Diotti getting ready to step in now for Grants Pass, as he's 0 for 1 today. Struck out in the second inning, but an RBI opportunity nonetheless. Poor set. Watching Pesqueda take the lead. Sims gives him space. Now the first pitch home is going to be behind Diotti, but Takini up and out of the stance, able to keep that one from getting behind him. The count is just 1-0 to Diotti. Starting left fielder today for the Cavemen. Diotti is class of 28 for Grants Pass High School. Both middle infielders getting close to Pesqueda, but they relinquish as Poor delivers the 1-0 pitch home. Got timeout at the plate. And Diotti calling it just in time before Poor delivered the pitch. It'll stay a 1-0 count as Diotti collects his thoughts and digs back into the right-handed batter's box. Outfield in a couple of steps here against Diotti. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Finds the outside spot, maybe a touch low against Diotti, but the count is even. Small lead off a second for Pesqueda. They're being pretty conservative with their leads today, our Grants Pass. The 1-1. Poor offers it up. It is off speed. Diotti rolls that one out in front. There's 2 strikes on him as the wind picks up a touch here at Kiger, blowing out to left field. Again, it was about 85 at first pitch, cooling off tonight, 84 now, and going to continue to cool off over the next couple of hours. But just a great night for baseball here in the Klamath Basin. 1-2, the pitch. Swung on and missed. Poor gets the strikeout he was looking for. The Cavemen add a couple on a 2 RBI double from Pesqueda, but the Falcons maintain an 8-run advantage to the bottom of the third next on mybasin.com.
At Geno's on East Main Street, we're always ready for sports season.
And now is a perfect time to connect with us.
We're open every morning at 6:30, serving simply good food
for your breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
We offer breakfast burritos and burgers all day, Italian family recipes,
monthly specials, amazing desserts, and of course, your choice of cold or hot beverages.
Call 884-6474 right now to place a food order for pickup or use DoorDash delivery.
Or best of all, come dine in with us.
Geno's on East Main, simply good food.
Check out our full menu and all our activities at ilovegenos.com. Geno's on East Main, simply good food.
Getting set now for the top half of the 4th inning on mybasin.com as the Klamath Falls Falcons lead the Grants Pass Cavemen. A score of 10-2 for the Falcons. 10 runs comes on 8 hits. They've committed no errors. For the Cavemen, 2 runs come on 5 hits. They've committed 3 errors today. Leading off this half inning for the Klamath Falls Falcons is Jacoby Takini. He'll be followed in the order by Ian Meyer and Colin Takini. Eric Pesqueda ready to deliver to Takini. He's 2 for 2 tonight. Singled in the first and second innings. Scored a run and has an RBI today. Here's the offering to Jacoby. That one's hit hard the opposite way, but foul. That one certainly caught the hood of a truck. The count's 0-1. Takini's had a good day so far, like we said. Couple of singles have netted him an RBI. Just continues to see impressive numbers grow. A .429 hitter coming into play today as he takes a pitch inside. Count is even to Jacoby. OPS 1.12 entering play today. That is a staggering number for Takini. Here's the 1-1. Misses upstairs. 2-1. Whole middle of the order, Walter, we kind of talked about it. Takini, Meyer, then Takini. The 3-4-5 punch of this Falcons order is tough to get through.
Yeah, it's a couple of the team's best hitters. They kind of condensed much of the Falcons' hitting power into three combination punch there.
When you got guys who not only can hit for power but also get on base, it just gives you the ability to just keep right on rolling through the middle of this order, too. The 2-2. Hit the opposite way, right field. Snodgrass is going to bring it in. Has to leave his feet for that one, but the catch is made, and it brings up Ian Meyer. Got our junior PA announcers up here in the box. Got some rouse from the crowd for Ian Meyer stepping in here. Meyer is 1 for 1 tonight. Singled in the second, knocked in a pair of runs. He also walked in the second. Here's the pitch to Meyer. Misses low and away, 1-0. Meyer, each time he's reached, he has scored a run today. A productive evening so far tonight for the recent Henley grad. Here's the delivery from Pesqueda. That one's called a strike. Counts even to Ian Meyer. Meyer here. Head of the 1-1. Here it comes. Is another fly ball to the right side, but well out of play. And settling down on the pavement. Count is 1-2 to Ian Meyer. Guy who does a pretty good job of protecting the plate with 2 strikes on him. We'll see his approach here. The 1-2 is going to hit him. And I suppose that's a good way to avoid a strikeout. Meyer extends his team lead on the hit-by-pitch category. He's been plunked 8 times this year. And it brings up Colin Takini. You think that's a prideful stat to lead the team in being hit by a pitch? You think they talk about that one?
I don't know.
Let me tell you, when I was in high school and I led the team in being hit by a pitch, I let everybody know.
Well, I think it comes down to you're pressuring the pitcher to do too much on the mound.
Yeah.
It'll get away from them sometimes.
First pitch to Colin Takini, called a strike right down the middle, counts 0-1. Takini today 0 for 1. He grounded out in the first. He was hit by a pitch in the second. Pesqueda delivers. Takini checked his swing on a pitch that was called a strike. Looked like the curveball there from Pesqueda, and he's got Takini in a 2-strike count. Colin this year batting .358 for the Falcons. Trying to put a ball in play with 2 strikes on him. 1 out in the inning, runner at first. The pitch. Takini watches that one, skip in the dirt. Bassett keeps it in front of him. Counts 1-2 to Colin, with P.J. Safford due up next for Klamath Falls. Here we go. Pesqueda delivers the pitch. 1-2. That one misses up and away. 2-2. Colin, along with being a .358 hitter, 9 doubles this season, 28 RBI, is third most on the ball club. For the 2-2. It's going to miss upstairs and away. And the count is full to Colin. A great at-bat here for Takini. After falling behind 0-2 to start the at-bat, he's worked things back full and in his favor. The 3-2. Takini bounces one to third. A diving stop by Stewart, but he loses it on the transfer, and there's no play to be made. Takini gets the infield single. Meyer to second, despite a good effort by the third baseman, Stewart. There's 2 men on here for P.J. Safford. Tip of the cap here for Colin. See if we can save the baseball for him. His 100th hit as an American Legion baseball player, spending all that time, of course, with the Falcons. Congratulations to Colin Takini on 100 career hits. P.J. Safford, first pitch taken upstairs over the plate but above the letters. He gets ahead 1-0. Safford walked his first time up and scored in the first. He also struck out looking in the second. Here's the pitch to Safford. The 1-0 is going to miss wide. Might have been a touch-up. 2-0 the count to P.J. Safford on the season, batting .359. Has started the majority of games this year for the Falcons as a designated hitter, getting the same nod here today. The 2-0 is called a strike. 2-1. The fastball on the outside part of the plate. That's the same pitch that got Safford looking at strike 3 his last time up. So going to be cognizant of that outside fastball here against Eric Pesqueda. Here's the 2-1. Safford late on the heater inside after going outside. Pesqueda challenges him in and evens the count at 2 against Safford. Corner still playing in. Double play still in order for the Caveman defense. The shortstop Schmidt trying to keep Meyer close and then returns to his standard spot as the 2-2 pitch misses upstairs, counts full. Falcons scored 5 in the first, 5 in the second. Here with 1 out and 2 men on in the third, still looking to push their first across in this frame. The 3-2 is swung on and missed. Outside heat got Safford for the second time today, and it brings up Trustin Thomas. Thomas getting ready to dig in here. 1 for 2 today. He had an RBI single in the first inning and scored a run. He also struck out in the second. Meyer at second base. Takini aboard at first. There's 2 outs in the third inning, and the pitch to Thomas misses wide. Count is 1-0. After Thomas in the Falcons order, it is Ty Teeters. Thomas stands tall in the box. Bassett sets the target. Looking like they're trying to work Thomas outside. Here's the pitch. There it is. Missing outside. Count is 2-0. That outside pitch has been there today. Even if a couple of inches, frankly, off the plate, the strike has been there for these pitchers. So they're looking to exploit it against the right-handers today for the Falcons. Trying to find it here. The 2-0 misses upstairs. And the count is 3-0 to Trustin. A walk here loads the bases for Ty Teeters next. All right. Pesqueda set. Trying to find the zone here against Trustin. And he does just that on the 3-0 pitch. Right over the heart of the plate, 3-1. Trustin, 258 hitter, gets on base about 32% of the time. Trying to work his way aboard here with 2 outs. The 3-1 misses, slow and away. Thomas walks, and it brings up Ty Teeters. Teeters 2 for 2 tonight. He's had a good game. A double in the first. He drove in a run. A single in the second. He drove in 2 runs. Now, with the bases loaded and 2 outs in the third, the Falcons looking to punish Pesqueda for the 2 free passes he's issued this inning. Teeters hits one in the air, right side, although bending foul. The count's 0-1. Ian Meyer, who stands at third, reached after being hit by a pitch. And, of course, Thomas recently walked, and so with Colin Takini in at second, there you have the bases loaded, but now an 0-1 count on Ty Teeters. Ty this season bats .388, couple of extra base hits for him, but mostly singles, but that'd do here. And by the way, Thomas, who scored from first to home earlier in the ball game, he's got good speed. He showed it off once tonight already. Count is 0-1 to Ty. The pitch swung on and missed out in front of the slow stuff from Pesqueda, and the count's 0-2. Modest leads all around for the Falcons base runners. Trying to rely on Teeters to put one in play here. Pesqueda set. Ty with 2 strikes on him. The pitch is swung on and missed. Back-to-back off-speed pitches get Teeters swinging. And the Falcons leave the bases loaded in the third inning, but they lead 10-2 as we continue on 104.3 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
Come on in. Hey, I'm Jason with Elevate Physical Therapy, Fitness and Performance, and just a little bit about us. So we started in March of 2020, opened right before COVID hit. It's been a wild ride. So one of the things I'm super passionate about is this idea of being guides or think about like a map and compass. If you think about our job as physical therapists is to take a person who's had an injury and help them kind of go from point A to point B. And everybody's journey is different. It's never a straight line. It's nice to have someone that's been there, that's walked that path before many times. And so we see it as our honor and privilege to be able to walk with patients through those little steps along the way of getting back to doing the things they love. So to get a hold of us at Elevate, you can call our number at 541-887-2030. Check out our website, elevateptfp.com. Or check us out on Instagram, shoot us a message.
Seven, 8, 9 due up for Grants Pass in the top half of the top half of the fifth inning, I believe. No, top half of the fourth inning. Easton Schmidt, Cruz Carnes, Eli Dominguez due up this half inning. That's 7, 8, 9 in the order. Couple of hits last time they were up this part of the lineup. Hayden Poor continues to work out there. Here's the pitch. Misses upstairs. Count is 1-0. Yes, top half of inning number 4 here tonight at Kiger Stadium. Single 9-inning affair this evening against the Cavemen. This one's lifted to the left side. Hamilton and Hoblet both moving over in the gap, but it's the left fielder Hamilton who makes the call and makes the catch for the first out in the fourth. Cruz Carnes sticking in now, pardon me. Got a new hitter in this spot in the order. It is Ryan Stewart. Stewart hitting here in the 8th spot in place of Cruz Carnes. Took over his defensive spot at third base, too. Carnes exits the game 1-for-1. Now it's up to Stewart. Try to make something happen for Grants Pass here tonight. Stewart was 0-for-3 last time these two teams played on June 22nd at Grants Pass High School. That game was a 6-2 win for Klamath Falls. They're out to a 10-2 lead here in the top of the fourth as Poor misses in. I think that was in to Stewart. Counts 2-0. And it is Eli Dominguez still on deck for the Cavemen. No changes there. The 2-0 popped to the right side. In the infield, Meyer, the first baseman, puts that one away. 2 gone. So here is the aforementioned Eli Dominguez. Stepping in after going 0-for-1 so far in the ball game. He struck out in the second inning. Poor trying to get out of this fourth unscathed, protect the 8-run lead that his team has here in the fourth. Poor delivers the pitch. That's a chopper down the third base line, but foul. And count is 0-1. After Dominguez in the order, the Caveman lineup goes back to the top for Ryan Sedivi due up next. A little bit muggy here in the basin. It seems like the smoke that we had the other day has cleared out of town. It seemingly was from the fire going on in Jackson County. And so, good night this evening for baseball. The 0-1 will miss in. Maybe a touch up as well. 1-1 the count to Dominguez, the designated hitter tonight for the Cavemen. The 1-1 pitch misses low, 2-1. Poor working a little bit quicker out there for the Falcons here in this inning, trying to get out of the fourth. Here he comes again, ready to throw out of the windup. The 2-1 misses high and in, 3-1. Might behoove him to just take a breath out there. He might be pitching with a little bit of frustration. But Poor taking no time at all ready to go with the 3-1. Here it comes. That one pushes it across for a strike right down Main Street. Counts full to Dominguez. Outfield in quite a bit ahead of this full count pitch to Dominguez. It's popped foul and we'll do it again. 3-2. Grant's pass. Trying to get a base runner here with 2 outs. The 3-2 from Poor is fouled off again. Dominguez putting up a good battle up there against Hayden. And a full count after a couple of quick flyouts to start the inning. Dominguez making Poor work out there. The 3-2 again. It is popped up the middle, and Sims lays out for it, but comes up empty. A 2-out base hit for Eli Dominguez. And it brings up Ryan Sedivi. So for the Cavemen, their 6th hit of the day comes here in the 4th inning. As the top of the order, Sedivi stepping in now. He's 0 for 2 today. He's flown out both times, once to the first baseman and once to the catcher. Small lead off of first for Dominguez. He takes an extra half step, though. Maybe some daylight there as Poor comes set. Delivery home is going to miss down and maybe a touch inside as well to Sedivi. Count is 1-0. The center fielder for the Caveman looking for his first knock of the day. See if the Caveman can't continue this 2-out rally after the knock from Dominguez. The 1-0 misses upstairs and in. 2-0. After Sedivi in the order, it's the Cavemen's power stick, Nathan Bassett. 2-0 the count. Poor set. Delivers to Sedivi, misses high and in again. 3-0. He's been missing with that fastball up and into the righties last couple of batters, so Takini going to go out there and have a chat with them. Another opportunity for us to recognize some of the corporate sponsors here for Oregon Tech. Want to give a shout to, or pardon me, for Klamath Falls Falcons. Roof Max of Oregon, also Bogate Construction. We talked about Quality Electric, but right out there next to him, the Peterson Cat and Rental Group helped get the whole field ready before the first game of the season over a month ago. The Peterson Cat Rental guys spent nearly a week out here getting the field ready, so couldn't give enough love to them. 3-0 the count. From Poor, the pitch is a strike, knee high over the middle of the plate. Might have been a touch on the inside third, but a good find there for Poor to try to work back into this at-bat. Decent lead for Dominguez at first. Poor set. Not real concerned with him over there as he delivers home, and it's a chopper to the left side of the infield. Sims unable to field it cleanly, and another 2-out base runner will bring up Nathan Bassett as an E6 allows Dominguez also to advance to second base. Bassett without a hit today, but a good opportunity to try to push a run across for the Cavemen with a runner in scoring position and 2 outs. Bassett has flown out and walked so far today, but when he walked in the third, he came around to score a run. Be huge for Poor to try to work himself out of this jam. Seems like in each of these first few innings, he's gotten 2 outs with relative ease, then gets himself into a bit of trouble with 2 outs. So far, it hasn't hurt him all that bad, save for a double in the third inning from Piscata. Poor trying to limit the damage here with 2 outs and 2 on, and now an 0-1 count to Nathan Bassett. Takini offers up the signal, sets the target. Awaits the 0-1 pitch from Poor, and you'll have to reach upstairs for it as the count's even. After Bassett in the Cavemen order, it's Ryan Glenn. Bassett, the catcher for Grant's pass, in the 2 spot in the order. Here's the 1-1. Nice off-speed pitch, started inside, broke back across the inside corner. Bassett didn't offer up at it. And Poor uses it to get ahead, 1-2. 1 strike away from leaving a couple of guys stranded again. Poor digging deep for this 2-strike pitch. Here it comes, misses up, 2-2. He'll have a couple chances at this. A high fastball might be setting up for something else later on in this at-bat. We'll see where Jacoby Takini motions for this 2-2 pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on. The pitch looked at for ball 3. just missing up there. And now the count is full. The runners will be on the move. Sedivi at first, Dominguez at second. Poor. Set again. Looking to set down the side. The 3-2. That one is going to miss up. Maybe a touch inside. And the walk will load the bases for Ryan Glenn. Glenn, 2 for 2 tonight. Singled in the first, singled in the third. He also scored a run in the third inning. No movement in the Falcons bullpen. They're riding with Poor to get out of this inning. The pitch misses up. 1-0. After Glenn in the order, it's Cam Holland, the cleanup hitter, due up next. Pardon me. Looks like, no, that is Holland in the on-deck circle. Poor behind in the count. 1-0 to the left-handed hitting Glenn. Here's the pitch. That one misses up as well. Poor's got to be feeling a little bit squeezed on that upper third of the zone. Been around the letters all day, but must just be missing high. That was what walked Bassett, and now the count is 2-0 to Glenn. Poor's got to get this pitch down. Here it comes. Ooh, similar location as the last few. This time goes Hayden's way. Counts 2-1. Now for Glenn. Got to be ready to hit. See if Poor's got a little bit of that confidence back in a 2-1 count. Here it comes. Swings and misses at the outside stuff. Might have been a two-seamer from Hayden working away from the lefty. And now there's 2 strikes on the hitter. A chance to still work himself out of this. Dominguez at third. Sedivi at second. Bassett at first. And a 2-2 count to Ryan Glenn. Poor delivers. It misses up and the count's full. Big pitch on the way. Poor trying to get this one down. He's missed upstairs. Trying to look for that ground ball out or maybe a swing and a miss. Runner's going to be on the move. They're at every station. The 3-2 home is hit foul towards the Falcons dugout. And so we'll do it again in a full count. Poor kind of jammed him up on the inside, and Glenn got the inside part of his bat to make contact with it, kind of pushed it foul. Probably doesn't feel great on his hands down there, but he'll have to dig back in a full count. Again, runners will be on the move with 2 outs in the inning. Here's the pitch from Poor. Misses in, and a walk scores a run. As Dominguez touches home, Sedivi to third, Bassett to second, and Poor gives away a run here in the fourth. It brings up Cam Holland. Score now 10-3. Falcons still lead, but lead dwindling. Now especially with the bases loaded for Cam Holland. 0 for 2 today is Holland, though. He struck out each of his first 2 times. Poor comes set with the first pitch. A check swing, but a called strike around the knees over the plate. Count is 0-1 to Holland. If the inning continues, Eric Pesqueda is due up next for the Cavemen. Poor set. Surrounded by Cavemen. The 0-1 misses low. 1-1 the count to Cam Holland. Trying to atone for giving up a bundle of runs as the starting pitcher today. With Glenn at first, he's pretty conservative on the lead, unsure of his speed, but with the Falcons outfield playing in, a deep fly ball would certainly get behind him and might clear the bases. But for Poor, he's more worried about throwing strikes up there. The count is 2-1 to Holland. Takini delivers the signal. Poor set with the 2-1. Here's the pitch. Checks his swing on a called strike, and Holland now in a 2-2 count. Poor is looking for that put-away pitch. He's already walked 1 home this inning. Trying to limit that damage and to go a long way for Holland here. Holland calls time before the 2-strike offering. Digs back in. Holland in the back of the right-handed batter's box awaits the 2-2 from Hayden Poor. Kicks and delivers. Swung on and missed. Poor sends Holland packing for the third time today, and they leave the bases loaded in the fourth. They do add a run. It's a 10-3 ball game. To the bottom half of the fourth we go next on mybasin.com.
So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been waiting forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place that feels as good as home. And then I heard your voice. I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coldwell Banker, where home begins.
Bottom half of the fourth inning. It's 9-1-2 in the Falcons order due up against Eric Pesqueda. Falcons have a 10-3 lead against the Cavemen here in the fourth. Harley Hoblet getting ready to dig in now for the Falcons. He's 0 for 2 tonight. Grounded out in the first. He reached on a dropped third strike in the second. Trying to get a rally started here for Klamath Falls as they lead by 7. Pitch on the way to Hoblet. It's going to miss low and away. Count is 1-0. And for Eric Pesqueda, for the Grants Pass Cavemen, now in working his third inning in relief today. He's been effective. 2 hits through 2 innings, 1 earned run. He has walked a fair few, but he's struck out more. 5 Ks against 3 walks. 1-2, the count to Harley Hoblet to lead off this fourth inning. And the pitch misses away. 2-2, the count to Harley. Carson Sims due up next. Pesqueda has had to work, though, for this outing. 72 pitches, and the 73rd is going to hit Harley Hoblet. A leadoff base runner in the fourth for the Falcons brings up Carson Sims. Sims has reached base 3 times today. In the first, he singled. In the second, he doubled, scored each of those 2 times. He also walked in the second, but was left stranded when the Falcons kept the bases loaded. Corners in, protecting a bunt for Sims. Here's the first pitch, though. He lifts that one to left center field. Sadivi moving over in the gap, makes the catch, and there's 1 out in the inning. So it brings up Corbin Hamilton with 1 gone and a runner on. Corbin's 0 for 3 tonight. He's flown out a pair of times. He also reached on an error in the second inning and scored a run in that second inning. Hamilton, the right-handed batter, dig it in. They move over to Hoblet at first. Hoblet kind of stutter-stepped back to the base. Didn't have enough room to dive back, so lucky to get back at all. Kind of caught him flat-footed for a moment, but the freshman reclaims his lead over there at first. And now the pitch home is going to miss inside to Corbin, and he works ahead 1-0. Aside from going 0 for 3 today, Hamilton has been one of the top hitters this year for Klamath Falls. 444 hitter, 6 extra base hits, 28 runs scored. Hamilton takes a pitch inside, counts 2-0. It's a product of him getting on base a ton, leading the team in that metric. 575. Set on the bump is Pesqueda, the 2-0. Hoblet takes off. The pitch misses inside. The throw down. Short hops Holland at second and winds up in center field. Hoblet gets up, breaks for third, and aggressive base running pays off as Hoblet now 90 feet away from scoring with just one out after the error. Corbin Hamilton, an RBI chance now for the Falcons left fielder, something he's done 21 previous times this year. That's driving in a run. Ahead in the count 3-0, he can be selective up there. The pitch from Piscata, called a strike on the outside part, about belt high. Hamilton didn't like it. Again, like I said, he can afford to be picky out there. Don't want to let too many plate-heavy fastballs go by you, though. 3-1 is off the plate, but called a strike. Hamilton dissatisfied with that strike call, but now he'll have to protect in a 3-2 count. Here's the offering from Piscata. Hamilton chases strike 3. Got to imagine that was a product of the wide strike 2 call, but regardless, Hamilton goes down swinging, and it brings up Jacoby Tacchini. Tacchini 2 for 3 tonight. Couple of runs scored and an RBI came in the second inning. He also flew out in the third. First pitch to Jacoby, misses upstairs, 1-0. Jacoby on the season, .429 hitter, 14 extra base hits, leads the club in RBIs, 43 this season. The 1-0 belted to left center field. That one is carrying. It is gone. Jacoby Tacchini, a 2-run blast in the fourth inning, and the Falcons lead 12-3. Tacchini, second home run of the season, RBI number 45. And the Falcons now lead by 9. Hit that one to one of the deeper parts of the outfield, too. Over the Case Plumbing sign out there, near 380 feet over the fence. Didn't see how far it carried after that, but an absolute blast for Jacoby, and it brings up Ian Meyer. Here's the pitch. That one is hit the opposite way, foul, 0-1. First home run we've seen by a Falcon at Kiger Stadium this year, and it's on Youth Baseball Night. That's pretty special. Here's the 0-1 to Meyer. Misses wide. Count is even, 1-1. Meyer singled in the first, drove in a couple of runs, and scored himself on that trip around the bases. He also walked in the second, scored then. He was hit by a pitch and left stranded at third in the third inning. Here in the fourth, with the bases now empty, Meyer works ahead 2-1 against Eric Piscata. Here's the pitch. Bouncer towards the left side. Charging is the shortstop, Schmidt. Throws on the run, and the play is made cleanly at first to retire the side. But Jacoby Tacchini with a 2-run blast extends the Falcons' lead. 12-3 as we go to the top half of the fifth next on MyBasin.com.
The Klamath Basin is beautiful, from shimmering Klamath Lake to rich farmlands to the historic downtown. And with an average of over 300 days of sunshine every year, the Klamath Basin is a great place to be. We here at Basin Media Active have been supporting this community for many years, keeping it entertained and informed with friendly faces and familiar voices. You can stay up to date with the latest news, weather, stream live local sports, and check out our community calendar, all on our website, mybasin.com. And you can download our app for free in your app store right now. Basin Media Active, local, community, engaged.
Got some changes here on the defensive end for the Falcons to start the top half of the fifth inning. Let's go ahead and reset the full defense for you. Jacoby Tacchini is the catcher. Hayden Poor still pitching. Colin Tacchini at third. Carson Sims at short. Max Rogers at second with Ian Meyer at first. Corbin Hamilton's in left. Harley Hoblet's in center. And Mason Snell is in right. Count is 1-0 to Eric Piscata. It is Pesqueda, Diotti, and Schmidt due up this half for Grants Pass in a 12-3 ball game. This one's popped up left side behind third in foul territory, but Colin Tacchini, the game's third baseman, moves over and makes the catch. One gone. Nevin Diotti stepping in now for the Cavemen, 0 for 2. Couple of strikeouts so far today in the second and third innings. Poor continue to work out there. We saw Ian Meyer get some warm-up tosses in between on that last half inning. But it's still Poor, at least for the moment, as he works efficiently to get the first out, but falls behind Diotti. Count is 1-0. After Diotti in the order, it's Easton Schmidt for the Cavemen. The pitch from Poor is called a strike. Count is even, 1-1 to Nevin Diotti. Grants Pass Cavemen making up this entire Caveman ball club today. During the prep season, Grants Pass finished 9-17, 6-12 in the Southwest Conference. They missed the postseason in the 6A classification. That pitch called a strike on the inside part there, 2-2. Nice frame-up job by Jacoby behind the plate. Might have stole that one for his pitcher. That's one of the reasons they like him back there. 2 strikes now on Diotti. The pitch from Poor. Misses up. No way to swipe that one. Counts full. Poor left the bases loaded in the fourth, looking to avoid that situation entirely. A strikeout here would go a long way. The pitch to Diotti bounces to the plate. Instead, it'll be a walk. Something that got Poor into a little bit of trouble in the fourth. Tacchini going to go out there and have a chat with him. He'll be joined by Craig Connor and the rest of the Falcons infield. And as Meyer disengages his sleeve and a couple of his wristbands, you can imagine he's getting ready to come in and throw, and he is. Meyer going to take over on the hill for the Falcons in the fifth inning. They lead Grants Pass 12-3. We'll step aside, give Meyer some time to warm up, and we'll be back in just a moment on mybasin.com.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
Rob, why do you think so many families choose Subaru here?
Because they're built for real life here in Southern Oregon.
All-wheel drive, safety, and room for everything from kids to camping gear.
And we've got Subarus in stock, ready to go when you are.
Plus, we're locally owned and deeply involved in the community.
When you buy from us, you buy from a dealership that supports Klamath Falls. Stop by and say hi.
Friendly, local, and easy to work with. That's us at Klamath Falls Subaru, right on Washburn Way.
Ian Meyer, the new arm for the Klamath Falls Falcons. We'll introduce you to him here in just a moment, but a couple of other changes for the Falcons as Meyer comes in to pitch. Corbin Hamilton takes over his spot at first base. Chase Barrett enters the ballgame, takes over for Hamilton in left. As Meyer finishes up his tosses, he enters play today, making his fourth appearance of the year. Meyer has pitched 4 2/3 previous innings. He's got one save. This a non-save opportunity, though, for Meyer, unless the game goes the distance. But for Meyer, 5 hits, 1 run, it's unearned. He's struck out 2. And with no earned runs against him in 4 2/3 innings pitched, Meyer's still sporting a goose egg in the ERA column, something he hopes to keep intact. Diotti, who's aboard at first, is still Hayden Poor's responsibility, so can't quite close the book on him entirely yet. As Easton Schmidt gets ready to step in against Ian Meyer. Pitch, first pitch swinging, shallow fly ball to right field. The new right fielder Mason Snell makes the catch, and there's 2 gone in the 5th. Brings up Ryan Stewart for the Cavemen, 0 for 1 in tonight's ball game. Stewart popped out to first base in his only at-bat so far tonight. That was in the 4th inning. Meyer, a guy not going to rack up the strikeouts, but he places the ball well, creates some weak contact. That's what he's going to try to do here tonight for the Falcons as the first pitch is called a strike to Ryan Stewart. Takes a fastball on the outer third. The count is 0-1. Pitch in is a roller towards the right side. Rogers over in the gap, up with it, and the throw to first is in time. A walk won't bite the Falcons in the fifth. They carry a 9-run advantage to the bottom half next on 104.3, 960 Sports, and mybasin.com.
When your care feels complicated, you need someone who won't back away. At Heartfelt, they are known for taking on the cases others won't. Complex, high-risk, and deeply personal situations that deserve real attention. They specialize in minimally invasive procedures, helping you heal faster and get back to your life, your family, your work. And they are here for the long term, not just one visit. No referrals needed, just care that truly shows up for you. Visit heartfeltobgyn.com or call 541-205-6890. Heartfelt OBGYN, expert care when it matters most.
At Pacific Power, we can't predict the future, but we're preparing for every possibility. With more extreme weather year-round, we're investing in an energy system ready for what comes next. By strengthening the grid, using smart infrastructure, and drawing from our diverse energy resources, we're not just powering today. We're designing an energy system that's built to weather tomorrow. Energy that makes powering your greatness possible.
Colin Tacchini, PJ Safford, and Trustin Thomas do up this half inning. I believe it'll be Mason Snell batting in the 7th spot instead of Thomas. But regardless, 5, 6, and 7 in the Falcons' order do up this half as they look to extend their lead in the 5th inning, a score of 12-3. Now, I want to put this out there just in case we run into a situation. Tonight's contest, a single 9-inning game. Typically, mercy rule for a 9-inning game is after 7 innings. Hold that thought. Tacchini sends a gapper to right center field. That's down and extra bases. Tacchini going to wind up with a leadoff double here in the 5th. For Colin Tacchini, that is double number 10 on the season. Wanted to finish my thought ahead of Chase Barrett's at-bat here. As, again, typically, mercy rule is 10 after 7 in a 9-inning game, although in the last, I believe, 4 times the Falcons have earned a mercy rule win in a 9-inning game, they've waived it after 5. So we'll see. The potential mercy rule run, if it were after 5, is standing in scoring position ahead of this at-bat for Chase Barrett. As that pitch gets away from the catcher, now Colin advances to third. Chase Barrett at the plate, bats .270 this season for the Falcons. And in terms of RBI, that's what he's trying to do now. He's got 8 of those this year. Infield, not really protecting against that run at third. Count is 1-0 to Barrett. And the pitch is called a strike. Counts even to Barrett. Again, like I said, if that run comes home, you might see the game waved off. But it also, again, should and probably would continue to a 7th inning. The 1-1 misses outside, 2-1. After Barrett in the order, it is Mason Snell. Barrett getting his first at-bat of the day. He steps in as the 6th spot in the order, hitting in place of P.J. Safford, who exits 0 for 2 today. The 2-1 misses low again. Pesqueda going to have to try to cover home as Bassett knocked that one down. He's worked hard today. He's let a couple get by him. But, again, I always like to highlight the work of a good catcher. Bassett, a veteran behind there. And like I said, there's been a couple get behind him, but he's worked hard today to try to limit the damage. Count is 3-1 to Chase Barrett with a runner at third is Colin Tacchini. The pitch from Pesqueda is hit foul. Barrett tried to get out in front to the inside fastball, but wound up just fouling it off his foot. And so the count is full now with nobody out for Chase. Barrett wides out in the box with 2 strikes on him. Trying to put something in play. Lowers himself in the box as well. The 3-2 hit back up the middle. A diving stop by Schmidt. The throw to first is going to be a wild one. It winds up nearly in the dugout, but the run does score, and the game does continue. 13-3 here in the 5th. and it brings up Mason Snell. Going to rule that a base hit for Barrett. He was racing down the line, so give him the RBI as well. And in steps Mason Snell, a .333 hitter this season for the Falcons. The pitch is called a strike off the plate. Snell behind 0-1. Getting his first look in this one, Snell hits in the place of Trustin Thomas, who exits the game after going 1 for 2 with an RBI. Move over to first. Barrett's back safe. Like I said, Snell this season, .333 hitter, 1 extra base hit. It was a double. He's got 6 singles, 6 RBIs. He's scored 10 runs this season. The 0-1 hit the opposite way down in front of the right fielder for a base hit. They put the brakes on Barrett at second, and so a little station to station here. 2 men on for Max Rogers. A double and 2 singles to lead off this half inning for the Falcons have already plated them 1 run. They lead 13-3, and Max Rogers going to try to add to it here. Getting his first at-bat. Rogers on the season, batting .333. Here's the offering. Is going to miss upstairs, 1-1. By the way, it looks like Hunter Glidden in the on-deck circle. He'll be hitting in the space of Harley Hoblet. So, whole crop of new batters this half inning for the Falcons, but the result the same, adding on to this big advantage. Rogers just underneath the 1-0 pitch. Count to Max, 1-1. Rogers, a handful of extra base hits this season, double-digit RBIs with 11 coming into play today. But is able to rack up those extra base hits. OPS above 900 entering play today as he fouls off that pitch. 1-2. The count to Max Rogers. Middle infield going to try to turn a double play, although Max has got some good speed coming out of the right-handed batter's box. Going to be tough to turn him and, frankly, even get one with Mason Snell aboard at first. He's got a pretty good-sized lead over there. The 1-2 is hit foul. Count remains 1-2. Rogers fighting that one off the inside part of the plate. Sticks around to see another. Again, still nobody out here in the 5th inning of a game in which the Falcons lead 13-3. Piscata set. Here's the 1-2, and that one is going to hit Rogers and load the bases for Hunter Glidden. For Rogers, 3rd time he's been hit by a pitch this season. And here's Hunter Glidden. And we got the home plate umpire. Do we need baseballs? Is that what it is? What do we got? Home plate umpire writing down some notes. Might just be making note of the changes here for Hunter Glidden. I think that's what it is. Glidden getting his first at-bat tonight. Batting .263 on the season. Glidden, 4 RBIs, 5 runs scored. A guy who's gotten more opportunity as of late to swing the bat. Wasn't getting a lot of chances at the beginning of the season, but as the year's gone on, they've used Glidden more and more. He takes a pitch outside there, 1-0. Started the game against Medford in the opener on Saturday. He also got at-bats against South Medford in every game of that series and most of the action in Roseburg as well. Throughout the month of June, wasn't playing a ton, at least in the field, but here, mid-part of July, he's come along nicely. The count to him right now is 1-1 with the bases loaded and nobody out. That pitch to Glidden misses upstairs, 2-1. Lineup turns over next for the Falcons. Carson Sims on deck. Rogers leads off the bag at first. Snell a decent lead off at second. Almost nothing to speak of for Barrett at third. And the pitch on the way to Hunter Glidden is knee-high over the plate. Count even at 2. All right. Glidden preparing for the 2-strike pitch. Here it comes from Pesqueda. Glidden chases the high heat for strike 3 and goes down as the first casualty in the 5th. Go back to the top here for Carson Sims. Sims today 2 for 3. He singled in the first, scored a run. Doubled in the second, scored a run. He also flew out in the 4th. But an RBI opportunity for Sims here in the 5th of a 13-3 ball game. The Falcons lead. The pitch from Pesqueda. Sims takes it in the dirt. 1-0. Falcons now in their 5th consecutive game scoring double digits. Again, they come into play today on an 8-game winning streak. The 1-0 is going to miss wide. 2-0. Sims able to be patient here with a 2-0 count to him, with Corbin Hamilton due up next. Pitch to Sims misses upstairs. 3-0. No motion for Grant's pass in any bullpen. We know that Pesqueda's been working hard. His pitch count's got to be up there. Going to check on it here in just a second. 107 his pitch count. This will be 108 here for Pesqueda. So he's going to have to be yanked here sooner than later anyway. The 3-0 pitch home is called a strike. 3-1. Sims still in a definite hitter's count here. Going to try to take advantage of something with the bases juiced. Here's the pitch. Misses up and away, and a walk, scores a run. And that will likely spell the end here for Eric Pesqueda as the Falcons extend their lead now 14-3. We'll step aside here for 1 minute, give a potential new arm some time to warm up for Grant's pass, although technically he could start one more batter, but he's handing the baseball over. This will be it for Pesqueda. He will leave the bases loaded for the next man up. We'll step aside. Back after this on 104.3 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
What are your goals? To get stronger, move better, feel healthier? Whatever you are aiming for, Harbor Isles is here to help you. They have brand new cardio and strength equipment. Harbor Isles offers indoor tennis courts, 4 indoor pickleball courts, energizing group classes, expert personal trainers, and a friendly, knowledgeable staff ready to guide you every step of the way. No matter what your goals are, Harbor Isles has everything you need to reach those goals. Stop by and see the difference for yourself. Harbor Isles, lose those reins and get your gains.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Oregon, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
14-3 the score. The Falcons lead the Cavemen in the 5th inning. Andy Snodgrass, the new man on the bump for the Cavemen. I believe this will be the first time the Falcons have seen him this year, as the bases are loaded. Snell at third, Rogers to second, and Sims at first. It'll be Corbin Hamilton at the plate against Snodgrass. Again, a single 9-inning game tonight. That's why the game's not over here in the bottom of the 5th. Mercy rule in a 9-inning game is 7 innings. So any insurance that the Falcons can add here would certainly aid them in that effort to end this one early, as Corbin Hamilton in an opportunity to do just that. Looking for a turn of fortunes up there. Hamilton today 0 for 4. Flown out a couple of times. He's reached on an error and scored a run, but he also struck out his last time up. All right. Hamilton ready as the first task for Andy Snodgrass out of the bullpen. First pitch taken for a strike. Below the knees on the inside part, but Hamilton falls behind 0-1. After Hamilton in the order is Jacoby Tacchini for the Falcons. Here's the offering from Snodgrass. Hamilton watches that one miss down and in, 1-1. Corbin on the season, batting .444. The dichotomy of baseball, going from one of the best doubleheaders of the season in terms of offensive output to not being able to find a hit yet today until right now. He sends a line drive to center field, and it's misplayed in center field, allowing Rogers to take off for home. Now they have Sims caught between second and third. Headed to third now. He's going to dive in. The tag is applied. They get Sims, trying to be a little bit overzealous out there. But Hamilton is able to advance to second on the throw. 2 runs score, and now there's 2 outs in the inning with a man in scoring position for Jacoby Tacchini. The score is 16-3 Falcons. So give Hamilton the RBI single, and like I said, advancing on the pickle play with Sims. And so here's Tacchini. Might remember his last time up, belting a 2-run homer. He's also got a couple of singles and another RBI here today. He sends a screamer down the third base line, backhanded by the third baseman, and the throw across the diamond is in time. But the Falcons add 4 here in the 5th. They lead 16-3 as we go to the 6th next on mybasin.com.
There's something special about this place. It's more than the quiet mornings and the open skies. It's more than the scenery. It's the people. Around here, people still wave when you pass by. They check in when something's wrong. They show up when it matters. At Sage Credit Union, we're proud to live and work in a region that believes in each other. A place where neighbors lend a hand, small businesses thrive, and generosity runs deep. We believe that being part of a community means giving back to it, not just with dollars, but with time, effort, and heart. That's why our employees earn paid volunteer time. That's why you'll see us at food drives, fundraisers, and the local fair. We show up for our community. This isn't just where we work. This is where we live, where we give, and where we grow. Right here, in the coffee shop, at the fundraiser, and in our local branch. At Sage Credit Union, we've found our people. We'll see you around town.
Nine, 1-2 for the Cavemen, due up against Ian Meyer in the top of the 6th inning, a game in which the Falcons lead 16-3. Check of the line score here for both teams as the Falcons have scored 16 runs on 14 hits. They've committed 1 error. For the Cavemen, 3 runs today on 6 hits. They've committed 5 errors. Ian Meyer still out there working for the Falcons tonight. You can close the book here on Hayden Poor. Poor pitched 4 1/3 innings tonight. Gave up 6 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned. He walked 4 and struck out 6. If the lead holds for the Falcons and this game ends in 7 innings, Poor would be in line for a win. But both of those things have to happen for Poor to collect that win. Otherwise, at this point, Meyer would be on record depending on how far he works into this one. First pitch to Dominguez misses wide. Count is 1-0. Here's the pitch. It's a chopper foul. Look out. Ooh, Madero's little gold glove action there in the dugout. Okay. We see you. Counts 1-1 to Eli Dominguez. Meyer's set, works predominantly out of the stretch. The pitch, another chopper to the left side, this time playable for Tacchini. Charging in, a great stretch from Hamilton, gets him. Hamilton slid his foot off the bag, but reapplied it just in time for the out. And a great play there by Korb. 1 gone in the 6th, and it brings up Ryan Sedivi. We've got the third base coach for Grants Pass, Coach Garrison, coming out and having a discussion with the base umpire. They might get together and talk about this because it was pretty obvious up here that Hamilton had pulled his back foot. But the question is, did he reapply it in time to still get the out? And now the base umpire going to come down and chat about things with our home plate umpire tonight. As it stands, the call on the field was out, so you won't see calls reversed a ton, but it looks like it might be a pretty quick chat. I think they might just call this one safe. Nope. They're going to say the out remains. It stands. I Thought a quick chat like that might be as simple as the home plate umpire saying, yeah, he definitely pulled his foot, but instead, nope, we'll just stick with a ground out. Brings up Ryan Sedivi with nobody out or nobody on and one out, and Hamilton gets across an inside pitch to get ahead of Sedivi 0-1. Ryan tonight is 0 for 3. He's flown out a couple of times and reached on an error once. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Ground ball towards the right side, and the count is 0-2 to the leadoff hitter for the Cavemen. Nathan Bassett is due up next for Grants Pass. Got a baseball out there still. Okay. Gets to this point of the ball game where chasing down foul balls maybe with not the most urgency, but it looks like we're ready to go. The 0-2 hit again towards the Grants Pass dugout. That one, I believe, hit the chain link fence above the dugout. No one hurt there. Count remains 0-2 to Sedivi. Meyer working briskly out there. Here's the 0-1. Pitch called a strike. Got Sedivi looking for the strikeout in the 6th. Changing up the release point a little bit. Don't know if he changed the pitch, but he kind of went from a lower arm angle that time. Maybe deception there to get Sedivi looking for strike 3 in the 6th. Brings up Nathan Bassett. Bassett 0 for 1 tonight, although he's reached base twice, both times on a walk. He scored in the 3rd when he walked in that inning. His one out was a fly out to right field. Lights have come on tonight at Kiger Stadium. The first pitch to Bassett. I think Meyer's getting a little creative with that one. You could tell by the chuckle out there. That one short hopped the grass on the way home. I think you get one of those. And so Meyer going to come back with the 1-0. Here's the pitch. That one bounces. Meyer trying to go with the changeup that time, and Bassett works ahead 2-0. Ryan Glenn is on deck for the Cavemen here. 2 outs in the 6th. Pitch from Meyer. That one is lifted in the air to right field. Going to be a long way for Snell to go to bring it in. Sliding in foul territory. Snell comes up with it and puts an exclamation point on the 6th inning. No runs, no hits, no runners left. We go to the bottom half in a 16-3 ball game that the Falcons lead on mybasin.com.
At Geno's on East Main Street, we're always ready for sports season.
And now is a perfect time to connect with us.
We're open every morning at 6:30, serving simply good food
for your breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
We offer breakfast burritos and burgers all day, Italian family recipes,
monthly specials, amazing desserts, and of course, your choice of cold or hot beverages.
Call 884-6474 right now to place a food order for pickup or use DoorDash delivery.
Or best of all, come dine in with us.
Geno's on East Main, simply good food.
Check out our full menu and all our activities at ilovegenos.com. Geno's on East Main, simply good food.
Ian Meyer, Colin Tacchini, and Chase Barrett do up this half inning as it stands right now, although it looks like Jacoby Nickerson is going to be hitting in that 5 spot for Colin, so we'll make that note right now. So Falcons lead 16-3, trying to add some insurance before going for a mercy rule win in the top half of the 7th. Andy Snodgrass still out there working for Grants Pass. He comes in relief of Eric Piscata, who worked 3 1/3 middle innings tonight, gave up 6 hits, 8 runs, 6 earned. He walked 4 and struck out 7. Snodgrass got a couple of outs to get himself and his team out of the 5th, an inning in which the Falcons plated 4 runs. They went 5 in the 1st, 5 in the 2nd, 2 in the 4th, and 4 in the 5th. And now Ian Meyer. Oh, looks like Colby Medeiros getting a chance to swing here. So Medeiros to bat here in the spot of Ian Meyer. And the pitch is going to miss inside. 1-0 to Medeiros. Medeiros 3 for his first 7 this season for the Falcons. Here's the 1-0. Called a strike on the outside third. Count is even at 1. Last time Medeiros had a hit, June 24th against the Athletics, the Ole Athletics from Eugene. Counts 1-2 to him now. He also got a couple of base hits in the Falcons' huge win on June 23rd. That was the 22-1 game against Philomath on that road trip. Here's the 1-2. Misses into Colby, 2-2. Medeiros did get an at-bat on July 9th and scored a run after walking, but hasn't had a hit, although he might have just found one. That one settles down in fair territory, hugging the line in left field. Medeiros aboard to lead off the 6th inning. Guy who doesn't get a lot of opportunity. The boys sure do love Colby out there. Got a standing O for a routine single. It's good stuff.
Not routine for him.
Good lead off of first. He's got a big one as Nickerson steps in. Count is 0-1 after the foul ball. Nickerson this season batting 351 for the Falcons. He's 12 for his first 37 this season. Does have 11 RBIs as that pitch misses outside him. Medeiros is getting out to a huge lead at first. Bassett, the veteran behind the dish, might have just clocked it. Don't be shocked if either Medeiros takes a bit more of a conservative lead or he gets checked on here in the next pitch. The 1-1. Hit the opposite way. Nickerson sends another fly ball to left field. Medeiros turns around second. He's digging for third. The throw in takes the third baseman off the bag. And Medeiros dives in safely. We talk about going first to third, and Medeiros showing off the wheels, doing just that. Nickerson winds up at second, advancing on the throw in. Credit him with just a single as Chase Barrett looks to knock them both in. By the way, for Nickerson, his first hit of the night. Barrett stepping in now. He's 1 for 1 this evening. An RBI single came last in the 5th. First pitch swing and rolls one foul, counts 0-1. After Barrett, it's Mason Snell due up next for the Falcons. Barrett took over for Safford in the 5th inning, hitting in that spot. He has since assumed defensive responsibilities in left field. Here's the pitch. Nearly came in and got him, but Barrett works even, 1-1. Digging back in. Small lead off a second for Nickerson. The 1-1 is rolled foul, and the count's 1-2. Still nobody out here in the bottom of the 6th. If you're curious for Grant's Pass, who's due up in the top of the 7th, it is the 3, 4, and 5 hitters in their order. If you feel confident about anyone starting a rally, it's those guys, but got to get there first. Here's the pitch. Barrett fouls it back. Putting up a good fight, but 2 strikes remain on the Falcons left fielder. Small lead off a third for Medeiros. Snodgrass set, trying to find a way to get rid of Barrett. But this one bounces to the plate. Good take there by Chase. Bassett going to call time. Come on out and chat with his pitcher. And as he does, we'll remind you tonight's broadcast on mybasin.com. Brought to you in part by the group at Klamath Falls Subaru. Through the Subaru Love Promise and Subaru Share the Love events, Klamath Falls Subaru has donated thousands of dollars to dozens of hometown charities. Comfortable and not corporate at Klamath Falls Subaru. I understand with their involvement this year in the Klamath County Fair that they're also giving away, well, a bunch of different stuff, whether it's tickets to go see Trace Adkins or the ride passes for the carnival games and rides, or tickets to see the Challenge of Champions bull riding tour. They're giving away tickets to all different kinds of things over the next few weeks leading up to this year's fair. Barrett rips the 2-2 pitch into left field. They put the brakes on Nickerson, but Medeiros scores, and an RBI single makes it 17-3 Falcons here in the 6th. Second RBI of the night for Chase Barrett. He's having a good evening as it brings up Mason Snell. Snell 1 for 1 tonight, singled and scored in the 5th inning. Mason, class of 28 at Mazama High School, one of 3 representatives for the Vikings on this team. And One of them stands over there at third, and Jacoby Nickerson. Snell comes up empty on that pitch. Counts 0-1. The other is in the on-deck circle, Max Rogers. The 0-1 to Mason Snell. Going to miss upstairs. Count is even. Be curious about how the pitching staff and eligibility looks for Grant's pass here today. The 1-1 is going to miss in. Snodgrass just delivered pitch number 20 with that one. And so certainly not in any danger of having to be yanked, but be curious for the rest of their season coming up how they decide to manage it with a couple of guys pitching quite a few earlier in this one. Like as we check the pitch count so far in this game, you know, Piscata was at 108 by the time they pulled him from this game. And well, Cam Holland threw a pretty considerable amount of pitches in one, and he still threw 30. So he's fine as far as eligibility, but they've had to work hard today, and it's allowed the Falcons to add a ton of runs in this ball game. 17-3 our score. Snell in a full count. The pitch home. Swung on and missed. It's in the dirt, but first base is occupied. Snell down on strikes for the first out in the sixth, and it brings up Max Rogers. Rogers was hit by a pitch his last time up, came in to score. It's here with runners at the corners and just one out. On deck for the Falcons is Hunter Glidden. Pitch to Rogers. Line to center field and a base hit. Nickerson is going to score, and the Falcons add another. It's 18-3 in the sixth. And for Rogers this season, RBI number 12. And it brings up Hunter Glidden. Glidden 0 for 1 tonight, struck out in his only other plate appearance in the fifth inning. But an RBI opportunity for Hunter. The pitch from Snodgrass, it misses in. Count is 1-0. Glidden on the season, batting .263, but a small sample size. He is 5 for 19. The pitch. Glidden rips one down the line to left. The Falcons continue to hit the ball well here in the sixth. Barrett stumbles around third, but scores anyway. Slides in safely. And the Falcons lead 19-3. Rogers stays put at second. Glidden with the RBI single back to the top of the order for Carson Sims. Sims has got a couple of base hits already tonight and an RBI. He scored a run when he walked in the fifth. But he also has a single and a double tonight. Bats here with two men on and just one man out in the sixth inning. First pitch to Sims. First pitch swinging. It's a fly ball in foul territory. Sims is behind here 0-1. Carson has walked actually twice today. Once in his previous at-bat in the fifth. Also once in the second inning. He's gotten on base 4 times tonight and scored 2 runs. Here's the 0-1. Sims, another line drive to left field and another base hit for the Falcons. Rogers turns around third, and he will slide in safely as well. And the Falcons continue to roll on here in the sixth. An RBI single, and they've scored 20 tonight against Grants Pass. Glidden in its second. Sims, of course, aboard at first after adding another RBI there. And for Carson, RBI number 21. It brings up Corbin Hamilton. Still just one out. First pitch to Hamilton misses up 1-0. Hamilton with an RBI single his last time up. That was in the fifth inning. That was his first hit of the night. Misses wide there to Corb, 2-0. Falcons have got 20 hits tonight. Their largest offensive output of the season was 22 runs back on June 23rd. And right now with just one out in the sixth, they've got 21 and 22 out there on the base paths. Hamilton would represent 23 if he can find a way to get on board and get in. The 3-0 pitch misses wide, and Hamilton works a walk, leads the team in that category. The bases are loaded. Carson didn't know it. He turns back around, and Hamilton's running towards him. Had to head over to second base. Jacoby Takini bats with the bases loaded. And we've got a meeting on the mound for Grants Pass and Andrew Snodgrass. Looks like we might be getting a pitching change here as Dominguez follows coach up and out of the dugout. But he keeps Snodgrass on the hill. Okay. We are making a pitching change for Grants Pass in this half inning. Falcons lead 20-3. We're going to step aside for 60 seconds. Back after this on 104.3 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
Come on in. Hey, I'm Jason with Elevate Physical Therapy, Fitness and Performance, and just a little bit about us. So we started in March of 2020, opened right before COVID hit. It's been a wild ride. So one of the things I'm super passionate about is this idea of being guides or think about like a map and compass. If you think about our job as physical therapists is to take a person who's had an injury and help them kind of go from point A to point B. And everybody's journey is different. It's never a straight line. It's nice to have someone that's been there, that's walked that path before many times. And so we see it as our honor and privilege to be able to walk with patients through those little steps along the way of getting back to doing the things they love. So to get a hold of us at Elevate, you can call our number at 541-887-2030. Check out our website, elevateptfp.com. Or check us out on Instagram, shoot us a message.
Eli Dominguez takes over for Grants Pass with the bases loaded and the power bat at the plate in the person of Jacoby Takini. Takini hit a 2-run blast in the fourth inning. He also added an RBI single in the second and a single in the first. He's had a good night tonight. First pitch from Eli Dominguez misses high and in, 1-0. Don't have a great outlook on what Dominguez has done so far this season for Grants Pass, but here's what I can tell you. He's 1 for 3 at the plate with a run scored tonight for Grants Pass. That pitch misses up and in, 2-0. He started as the game's designated hitter. Grants Pass dropping the DH here in the 6th, and Dominguez going to still hit in that 9 spot tonight. The 2-0. Misses in, 3-0. A walk here scores a run for Klamath Falls, and due up next would be Colby Medeiros. Takini awaits the 3-0. That one misses up, and a walk will score a run. Glidden touches home. Sims to third. Hamilton to second. And an RBI for Jacoby Takini. 4 on the evening. Brings up Colby Medeiros. Pitch to Medeiros. First pitch swinging. 0-1 to Colby. Colby singled and later scored to lead off this inning. The Falcons have played at 5 and lead 21-3. Here's the pitch from Dominguez. Off speed, and it misses up to Medeiros. Count is even at a ball and a strike. After Medeiros, it's Jacoby Nickerson in the order for the Falcons. The 1-1 is fisted towards shortstop. Up with it is Schmidt. On to second for 1, and they get them both. A 6-4-3 double play ends the bleeding in the 6th, but the Falcons carry a commanding 21-3 lead to the top of the 7th inning on 104.3 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
All I do is wait. So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been waiting forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place that feels as good as home. And then I heard your voice, I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coltwell Banker, where home begins.
3-4-5 due up for Grants Pass in the top of the 7th inning. They trail the Klamath Falls Falcons 21-3. To avoid a mercy rule defeat, Grants Pass would need to score 9 runs in this half inning. It'll be Glenn, Holland, and Pescata, and we'll see if they are up to the task to try to save this one and play a full evening of baseball tonight against Klamath Falls. Ian Meyer still out there working for Klamath Falls. Got through the 6th in order. Trying to make quick work of Grants Pass and shore up a win in the 7th. First pitch, called a strike, slings it in there. There's kind of what you're looking at for your different arm angle for Meyer there. He's kind of mixing it up. He's gone up over the top. He's gone underneath. He's mixing it up all the way.
Seems like an untapped skill at this level.
The 0-1 to Meyer bounces to the plate. Might still be trying to find some consistency with it.
Well, you know, it's not a taught skill, so he's experimenting.
He's got a smile on his face, and when you're playing a game, you're supposed to be smiling, right? That's all I care about. The 1-1 called a strike, 1-2.
He's pitching out of the stretch with nobody on.
He doesn't really throw out of the windup hardly ever. It's just a comfortability thing for him, I think. Comes set with the 1-2, looking for the set down pitch. Won't find it there. It misses upstairs and away, 2-2. I think the umpire just said 3-2. And we'll go ahead and say 3-2. The pitch on the way to Ryan Glenn. It is hit to left field. Barrett sails out, but just comes up empty with it. Nearly got it. It hit his leather, and it popped free as he hit the ground. A good effort, but a single for Ryan Glenn makes him 3 for 3 on the night. If there's been a bright spot in the Grants Pass order, it's been him. And it brings up Cam Holland. Holland is 0 for 3 tonight. He's got 3 strikeouts. Hasn't been as effective as his teammate over there on first. But a chance to change things here in the 7th. The first pitch drops somewhere for a ball. Might have been inside, might have been up. Meyer might feel a little squeezed on that one, but he can come back with this 1-0 pitch and gets a strike. Counts 1-1. And that fastball must have found the outside part of the zone. Modest lead off of first for Glenn, and Meyer delivers home. That one's ripped to left. Another chance for Barrett. This time he can't pick it up off his shoelaces. Back-to-back tough balls for him to get to, but they both go in as base hits against Barrett. He won't be penalized for his effort, but back-to-back knocks to start the 7th, and it brings up Eric Pescata. Pescata so far tonight, 1 for 3. Grounded out and flew out so far, but also a 2 RBI double came in the 3rd inning. Falcons lead tonight 21-3. Meyer just looking for the final 3 outs to shore things up tonight. But the Cavemen trying to get a rally going here in the 7th. Pitch to Pescata, misses upstairs, 1-0. Klamath Falls heads back out on the road tomorrow for a doubleheader at Grants Pass, and then return home on Thursday night. The 1-0 pitch called a strike, count is even. Starts to cool down here in the basin. Muggy a little bit, 78 degrees as it cools down this evening. Set on the hill is Meyer. And delivers the 1-1. That's hit right back to him. Going to second for 1. Sims on to first, and Hamilton can't squeeze the back end of a double play. Falcons might need to get their gloves checked. That's a couple that have popped in and out of the leather. 1 out, but it keeps runners at the corners. Glenn at third. Pescata reaching on the fielder's choice. And it brings up Nevin Diotti. All right, Diotti stepping in here, still looking for his first hit. He struck out a couple of times and walked once tonight. The pitch is going to miss low, 1-0. After Diotti, it's Easton Schmidt in the order for the Cavemen. Here's the pitch from Meyer. Grounder down the line, fair, down into left field. 1 run is going to score. They're going to hold up Pescata at second. The throw-in's a good one from Barrett, and an RBI single for Nevin Diotti. It's now 21-4. Easton Schmidt settling in now for Grants Pass. Schmidt tonight 1 for 3. Singled in the second, flew out in each of his last 2 at-bats in the 4th and 5th innings. Bats here with Pesqueda at second and Diotti at first. His team trailing by 17, and he falls behind 0-1. Ryan Stewart is on deck for Grants Pass. Meyer set, and the pitch is hit to the gap to right center field and will get down. Might be extra bases. Rounding third, headed for home is Pesqueda. Rounded second. For third is Diotti. And an RBI single trims the lead even further, 21-5, and it brings up Ryan Stewart. We talk about the ability to go first to third on that one for Diotti, and he's in there. An RBI for Schmidt, and here's Ryan Stewart. The pitch is called a strike, 0-1. So he gets ahead of Stewart. Eli Dominguez is on deck for Grants Pass. It was a leadoff single, then Holland singled. Pesqueda reached on a fielder's choice, then back-to-back singles, although this one, a grounder to second, to Rogers for 1, to Hamilton for 2, and a 6-4-3 double play gets the Falcons out of the 7th and earns them a win on Youth Baseball Night here at Kiger Stadium. 21-5 the final score. We're going to step aside for 2 minutes, and when we come back, we'll wrap this one up for you and get ready for a road trip tomorrow to the Climate City. Back after this on 104.3, 960 Sports, and MyBasin.com.
When your care feels complicated, you need someone who won't back away. At Heartfelt, they are known for taking on the cases others won't. Complex, high-risk, and deeply personal situations that deserve real attention. They specialize in minimally invasive procedures, helping you heal faster and get back to your life, your family, your work. And they are here for the long term, not just one visit. No referrals needed, just care that truly shows up for you. Visit heartfeltobgyn.com or call 541-205-6890. Heartfelt OBGYN, expert care when it matters most.
Come on in. Hey, I'm Jason with Elevate Physical Therapy, Fitness, and Performance, and just a little bit about us. So we started in March of 2020, opened right before COVID hit. It's been a wild ride. So one of the things I'm super passionate about is this idea of being guides, and or think about like a map and compass. If you think about our job as physical therapists is to take a person who's had an injury and help them kind of go from point A to point B. And everybody's journey is different. It's never a straight line. It's nice to have someone that's been there, that's walked that path before many times. And so we see it as our honor and privilege to be able to walk with patients through those little steps along the way of getting back to doing the things they love. So to get a hold of us at Elevate, you can call our number at 541-887-2030. Check out our website, elevateptfp.com. Or check us out on Instagram, shoot us a message.
The Klamath Basin is beautiful, from shimmering Klamath Lake to rich farmlands to the historic downtown. And with an average of over 300 days of sunshine every year, the Klamath Basin is a great place to be. We here at Basin Media Active have been supporting this community for many years, keeping it entertained and informed with friendly faces and familiar voices. You can stay up to date with the latest news, weather, stream live local sports, and check out our community calendar, all on our website, mybasin.com. And you can download our app for free in your app store right now. Basin Media Active, local community engaged.
Josh Eldridge and Walter Hartley back with you tonight. Final score this evening from Kiger Stadium. The Falcons with a win, extending their overall winning streak to 9 games, 21-5 against the Grants Pass Cavemen tonight. Klamath Falls 21 runs on 20 hits. They commit 1 error. Grants Pass 5 runs on 10 hits. They commit 5 errors. The winning pitcher tonight is Hayden Poore, who pitched 4 1/3 innings, giving up 6 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned. He struck out 6 batters. The losing pitcher tonight, Cam Holland, for Grants Pass, was the starting pitcher, worked 1 inning, gave up 7 hits, 8 runs, 6 were earned. He walked 1. One home run in the contest was Jacoby Takini's. He finished the day with a 3-for-5 outing, 4 RBIs, and 2 runs scored. Falcons also got key contributions tonight from Colin Takini, who was 2-for-3 with 2 runs scored. Chase Barrett was 2-for-2 with 3 runs scored and 2 RBIs. Ty Teeters was 2-for-3 with 3 RBIs tonight. Corbin Hamilton, Ian Meyer, Colby Medeiros, Jacoby Nickerson, Trustin Thomas, Mason Snell, Max Rogers, and Hunter Glidden all got 1 hit each as part of the 20-hit attack tonight for the Falcons. With this win, they improved to 27-3 on the summer and have a doubleheader date with the Grants Pass Nuggets on Tuesday night, tomorrow night at Grants Pass. That's a different team than we've been playing this evening. The Nuggets in our league. It'll be a league doubleheader Tuesday night from Grants Pass at 5:30. We'll be happy to be along with you then. But otherwise, that about wraps up our broadcast this evening. Walter, any parting thoughts before we put a bow on this one?
Heck of a ball game from the Falcons.
Hit the ball well. They've been hitting the ball well for the past 9 games, winners of each of them, and we're going to try to go for double digits tomorrow. Want to thank everybody involved with making tonight's broadcast possible, both head coaches, Kyle Garrison for the Cavemen, Sean Teeters for the Falcons, and of course our official scorer, our stadium announcer tonight, Mike Safford. And thanks to you for joining us for another edition of Klamath Falls Falcons Baseball. Back with you again tomorrow night at 5:30. But until then, for my partner Walter Hartley, my name is Josh Eldridge. Have a great rest of your Monday evening. So long and good night from Kiger Stadium.